Hello, everybody. Welcome to the How to Get Started recording and training and challenge, everything else in between. Shout out Bigger Pockets. Thank you for letting me write a book, Wealth Without Cash. Super excited about that. We officially have hit best sellers list already, and the book hasn't even come out. So that's super cool. I'm going to give you guys really quick framework, and we're going to go through the training very quick. Take out your notes. We are doing a very, very basic version and very different than what we've done in the Elephant Challenge so far. We are going to answer the question of how do I get started in real estate? Okay. And I know that we've answered this to some degree in the past. We are going to answer it very, very basically today, give you guys some framework, help you guys understand some things. And then on day 2, I'll show you guys a couple of other really cool things in depth. And then day 3, I'll show you some other things in depth. What's up, guys? Good to see everybody in here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. For people watching this in the future, please watch this. Do not go, oh, this was a pre-recorded training. I get the question so often, how do I get started? How do I get started? How do I get started? And today I'm going to answer that question for everybody. The challenge is you don't know how to get started because there's so many different ways to get started, and you get information from one person and then you hear something from somebody else, and then you go to a seminar, then you read a book, then you do this, and then you do that, and you're all over the place. And really there's a path that you need to follow, and you need to understand what you're trying to accomplish before you ask that question. You need to ask the question of how do I, Pace Morby, get started is a different answer than how does, let's say, Howard Wildly, okay? Or Wildy. Howard Wildy says, how do I get started? Different freaking answer, completely different answer. Okay, so we're going to go through a really cool infographic today. Keep it very basic. And by the time somebody watches this in the future and I share the infographic link with you, maybe this is on some sort of like Kajabi thing, and there's a link underneath where you can click on it and you can get a copy of the Miro board. That Miro board is going to change dramatically over time. Okay, now you can't see what's on this Miro board because I don't want you to see it. But this is day number 2. We're going to go through this on day number 2 of how to actually acquire a property. And we're going to go through this infographic. I'm going to give this to you guys tomorrow. You'll have this link tomorrow. You will not have this link today. And I will give you that, and it will change dramatically. Okay, this is kind of a basic version, and I'll end up having a graphic designer clean it up. Maybe we'll even create some workbooks associated with it. Couple of things. Right from the very beginning, I want you guys to know a couple of things. I will not be selling you anything, okay? There are a couple of, every challenge I've ever been to, there's always something to sell, okay? Even challenges I've done, right? I've done like the AI challenge. We sold Astro Blaster. Not going to do that today. I've never sold a mentorship or anything like that on any one of these lives. In fact, I will tell you not to join my mentorship. Please understand, the next 3 days, I will not be trying to sell you anything. Gator, sub 2. I will, however, give you some resources that will end up costing you money depending on who you are, okay? There's a lot of free avenues and free paths to follow down, but at some point you are going to have to spend some money on your business, right? Like getting an LLC, you're going to have to spend some money. Putting some money into a bank account so you can actually start a bank account. You're going to have to put some money in there. You'll need some sort of tool to comp properties, whether you're a real estate agent or not a real estate agent. In order to get really good software to comp properties, you are going to have to spend a little bit of money. Outside of those things, the next 3 days will not be one iota of telling you to buy something, do something whatsoever. This is simply a how to get started, super basic, super simple way for you guys to understand why you have been struggling, why you currently are struggling, maybe why you quit at some point. Maybe while you started, you joined some other person's mentorship. It didn't work out. Maybe it wasn't even because of the teacher. Maybe it was because you weren't ready or you chose the wrong path. We're going to be talking about those things over the next couple of days. Today, I'm going to give you 6 steps. I want everybody to go through the steps with me. And by the way, if you guys have really long messages like Cynthia, where you dominate my chat, I will kick you out. Please, guys, do not overdo the chat, okay? The chat gives me energy, okay? But if you guys are sitting here and like filling the chat up with all sorts of stuff, I will have Carly, who's in the back, kick you out, okay? Please don't do that. Please. Can we all agree that that's okay? Can you give me a yes in the side comments? Put your damn name in one time. Put your phone number in one time. It's all you need, because what we'll do is we'll save the chat and we'll email it to everybody at the end of the day. Okay? Put it in one time. Who you are, what you do, all that kind of stuff. Okay? And we'll save the chat and we'll email it to everybody. Do not spam my chat. I will remove you. This is my challenge. This is my platform. This is something that took 10 years to get 1,000 people to show up all at one time. Please do not take advantage of something that I put hard work into. Please. Okay? Thank you. All right, let's get started. I'm literally just going to get right into it. Very, very little deliberation. Here's how I would introduce myself very quickly. What's my name? Where do I live? Have I done a deal or not? And how to get a hold of me, okay? And if you're a sub 2 student, make sure you say I'm a sub 2 student, because people need to know who are great leaders in the industry, okay? All right, now the reason why you are having a hard time getting started is because of very, very common things. We're going to go through that today. Number 1, first step of getting started in real estate. Let's get into it. Pull out your notepads, pull out your pens. Okay. We are going to get started right now. Okay. Look at this. I put all this hard. We're going to go through all this today. Okay. Step number 1. Okay. This is a big deal. I know I've talked about this 100 times, but this is step number 1. People that are sitting here 6 months in this business, quote unquote, have still not set up a company. Okay. So step number 1 is set up your company. Why is this so important? It's important because psychologically, you need to be committed to something. You need to have some skin in the game. I don't care if you're in my free Facebook group. I don't care if you're on my YouTube channel. I don't care if you came from Bigger Pockets and you're in the free forums. I don't care, but you need to have some skin in the game. All right, guys, the time to introduce yourself is over. Okay? The time to introduce yourself is currently over right now. You're all pressing enter. I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds to finish it up. We're done. Okay? All right. Guys, if you don't stop, I'll just turn the chat off. Do you want me to turn the chat off? All right. This is an unfortunate thing, but I got to turn okay. Stop introducing yourself. Conrad, Sir Conrad Spencer. Stop introducing yourself. Okay? Stop it. I'm not going to turn it off. I actually like the chat. Just be adults. Okay? Be adults. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stop introducing yourselves. Everybody's got it. Thank you so much. We will email everybody. I like the chat. I enjoy the chat. I don't want to turn it off. At this point, if you guys come in and you introduce yourself, Carly, who is in the side, she's behind here. She, okay, will be kicking you out. I want full respect. If I'm putting all this time and energy and I have payroll that's going into this, resources, places I could be. Guys, I closed a 600 unit multifamily today. You think I could have maybe other better places to be right now than doing a free challenge for you guys? Just respect the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So number 1, set up your company. For the people that continually come into free challenges, they come into YouTube channels, they come into Bigger Pockets. Guys, I'm going to be really mean with you. Stop being one of these free people. The free people have broken mindsets. You are trying to do everything on a budget. The person you are trying to be does not budget for anything. I don't know any wealthy people that sit there and budget over anything. It is interesting to watch people that go out and they're trying to nickel and dime every little thing all the time. Guys, you will never become a millionaire that way. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you believe, Dave Ramsey. You guys are going around and nickel and diming everything, yet you'll go to Starbucks, you'll waste money on Big Mac, you'll waste money on stupid clothes, but you won't go and buy an LLC. Get a company set up. It is imperative. It is something, if you don't have an LLC right now, you should go to startwithprime.com, stop with the shenanigans, okay? Here's what I find. When you are not psychologically committed to this business, you flounder all over the place. And so what I'm telling you to do today is I'm telling you the path. This is step number 1 of that path. Doing deals, making a lot of money. The first step of that path is actually creating a business. Okay, so go to startwithprime.com. Who in here is a Prime client? Okay, look at all those Prime clients. Okay, Prime is awesome. People obviously love them. So these are people that have taken the first step on their journey. Guys, I will do Q&A at the end, by the way. So if you have your hand raised, you're gonna have to wait for me till the end. I do wanna go through the presentation. It's nothing fancy, but it is the framework of exactly how to get started. And it is gonna take me 2.5 to 3 hours, okay? If you do not have an LLC, type me in the side chat. Okay, all of you guys that are saying, I don't have an LLC yet, I'm telling you the first step to starting this business is getting an LLC. You wanna get a loan on a property? You'll need an LLC. You want business credit? You'll need an LLC. You wanna buy a property, wholesale a property, whatever action it is that you wanna do, you are going to have to do it in an LLC. So essentially what you're doing is I go, hey, let's go out and let's catch a bunch of fish. Let's go out into the ocean. Let's catch a bunch of fish. You, me, we're spending all this time putting ourselves on a ship. We go out into the ocean and I go, all right, pull out your net. And you go, net? I don't need a net. You said we were going to catch fish. Yeah, where are we going to put the fish? Knucklehead? Your LLC is where you put your properties. It's how you wholesale your deals, and you don't have your name on your contracts. You absolutely need an LLC. It's where you're going to catch the fish. Whether you're going to fix and flip. Are you going to fix and flip in your personal name? Are you going to wholesale in your personal name? Are you going to buy and hold real estate in your personal name? Those are the only 3 ways to make money in real estate, okay? You're going to either wholesale, you're going to fix and flip, or you're going to buy and hold. We'll go through those a little bit today. Are you going to do any one of those 3 in your personal name? If the answer is yes, well, then I guess you don't need an LLC. Also, if you don't have an LLC, plan on getting a lawsuit, plan on people finding you, plan on people coming and knocking on your door, your tenants coming and finding you. My tenants don't even know my name. My tenants don't know where I live. They don't know who the owner of the property is because my LLC protects my name from ever being seen. Okay? Make sure you have the net where you are going to catch the fish. This sounds like common sense. I've said it 1,000 times. I will have to say it maybe 10,000 more times in my life. But people come to me a year into this business and go, Pace, I'm losing everything. I got a lawsuit, water damage on this property, that my insurance isn't covering everything, and my tenants are blah, 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 and I'm getting a lawsuit. I go, oh, well, good thing you have an LLC, so it protects you. Nope, I put it all in my personal name. Get an LLC, okay? Now, the second thing you're gonna need, this is where kind of this fluffy duffy stuff comes in. The second thing you're going to need in that step 1, building a business, starting a business. Step number 1 is getting an LLC. Okay. Step number 2 is getting a bank account. Now, think about the psychology of this. There's so many magical things that have happened in my life where, like, even yesterday, I go to Ken McElroy's office. And for some of you guys that watched me on my Instagram stories, I go to Ken McElroy's office yesterday and he just shows me what his office looks like. That's it. He shows me what his office looks like. He has the labels of everybody's job description on their door. One of the job descriptions was director of philanthropy. Somebody in Ken McElroy's company, they own 6,000 units, 6,000 multifamily properties, 6,000 doors. He has a full-time position that is the director of philanthropy. He says to me, that is an effing cool job. That lady's job, I took her from ASU. She worked at ASU for 10 years, and now her full-time job is to give our money away. And just the psychology of, wow, that's where, when I get to your level, that's the way I have to be thinking. Those little connections in your life. Has anybody ever watched a training of mine, whether it's YouTube or a free elephant challenge or a video or something where like I've just turned some sort of energy on? It shapes the way you think. Thank you for that. One thing I can tell you is having a bank account when you are brand new is so important because it sends, I know I'm not the mindset person, but I'm telling you, this is magical. It sends a message to the universe that you say, I am in business. I have a bank account. I have a company name. I have a place to put the money in the event that I have a deal. Now, here's a great question, okay? I can only imagine. I just did a deal today with Robin Hurt, by the way. Let me call Robin Hurt. I don't know if she's on here, but let me call her. And if I'm going to scold her if she doesn't have an LLC. Watch.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi.
You're getting paid on a deal today.
I am.
Do you have an LLC or are we paying you in your personal name?
I absolutely have an LLC.
And you have a bank account.
And I have a bank account.
Thank goodness. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye. This is what I'm talking about. So here's what Robin did is Robin found a deal in Mesa that a wholesaler had under contract and she pushed it over to me and we got her paid. She basically just found a lead for me. I paid her $2,500. She is what we will get to in a little bit. I'll talk to you guys about a deal finder or a bird dog. That's one of the avatars we'll cover today. She got paid $2,500. You think I'm going to pay that money to her personal name and her personal bank account? Stop with the craziness that you think you are in business when you don't have a company, you don't have an LLC, and you do not. Okay. Okay. Greg, you see that long post you just made? I appreciate you, brother. But those long posts are not okay with me in my training. Please do not do that. No more long messages in the side chat, please. Otherwise, I got to turn the side chat off, and I like the side chat. Please don't do that, okay? So Robin got paid $2,500 today, and I'm grateful that she has started an LLC. So go to startwithprime.com. Whoever has not, guys, I don't want to move on to step 2. That's how fast we're going to go through these steps. There's 6 steps today, and then I'm going to open up to Q&A. There's only 6 steps. I'm almost done with step 1. Who in here did not have an LLC is now finally taking action and has gone to startwithprime.com and booked a call to get an LLC set up? Has anybody done that in here? Give me a yes. Pam White, Stacy, Nana. Okay, great. 100 plus people have done that. Okay. Oh, she says a lot of people saying I spoke to them today. I'm doing it right now. Watch how easy this is. This is how stinking easy this is. And we'll continue to go through the steps. And you guys are sitting here on a free training. You don't have an LLC, like you're going to be hanging around. Okay, here you go. Prime Business, exclusive to Pace Morby referrals, book a call. Watch this. Okay, pops up a calendar. They give you an hour. Look at this. They'll give you an hour consult. Okay, next one's available is the 28th. They've got 3 or 4 time slots right here. I choose 8 o'clock in the morning and I confirm. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. There you go. There you go. There you go. Schedule event. Boom. There you go. Awesome. That's it. That's step 1. Okay. Now there's another company that we use for people that We use a company called Start With Relay, or Relay Financial is the name of the company. Oops, I Googled that. That's not what I wanted. Start with relay.com. And you can get past this silly step that people have. Okay. There you go. Keeping your business on the money, bank with Relay. A lot of people who has Relay. Okay. A lot of people have Relay. People are happy with Relay. Okay, cool. Great. We don't need to cover this at all. Okay. Get a bank account, get a company name. There you go. Now let's get into step 2. Step 2. Let's do this. Sorry, guys. My computer is like a little bit slow today because we changed the definition on the TV. Okay, so set up your company in step 1. Start with Prime, start with Relay, get a bank account, get a place to actually send money for deals, okay? Verdun, if you guys want, on the last day of this training, I'll bring in and show you the perfect corporate structure. I'll bring in Prime on day 3. If you guys really want, I'll show you the perfect corporate structure. Okay, now here you go. Here's step 2. We're going to get into some good stuff we've never talked about today, but I want you guys to go in here and say, choose your market. Okay, choose your market. Your own backyard is preferred. Why is your own backyard preferred? Your own backyard is preferred because you get to drive around. You get to take your wife on dates, husband on dates. If you're in same-sex marriages, don't make me use all the words. We only have 3 hours, okay? You get to drive your market. You get to see everything. Guess what? Every time you do a deal as well, write this down. I want you guys to remember this. Every time you do a deal, you are not just making money. What else are you making? You are making relationships. You are making resources, connections. You are gobbling up experience in that market. So what happens is it's way easier to go meet these people for lunch or see these people at meetups or have them come over to a hangout at your house or go on a hike. The people I do business with, I hang out with all the time. I go play golf with them. I go do things with them. There is a significant advantage to doing business in your own backyard. Okay. Now, here's where I would limit that. Okay. Here's where I would limit that. If you are in North Dakota or South Dakota and your population is like 3,000 people, I would probably advise that you should start in a virtual market. Okay. If you are, Dane Moore says, I'm in Australia. Perfect. Nothing against your country, but you are not the United States. I would never invest in your country real estate wise because I don't understand anything about it. So what's going to happen is you guys might ask questions if you're Canadian and say, can this be done in Canada? I don't know. Can this be done in Bangladesh? I don't know. Can it be done in Australia? I don't know. But one thing it can be done in is America, and you can do it virtually, just like somebody in South Dakota virtually investing in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. Do you guys, so Luis Galbraith says population is 5,000 here. Do you think that she's going to be able to scale a business in a market that has 5,000 people in it? Okay. I mean, think about 5,000 people. There's no opportunity there, right? Let's say that 90% of the people in any population anywhere are not selling, nor will they sell anytime soon. So really you only have 10% of the population to kind of go to, and probably 90% of them are not in a stressful situation. So what we do is we find opportunity. That means that 50 people in your market are in distress. Man, don't you want to do 5 deals a month, 6 deals a month, 7 deals a month? That's not a market you're going to be able to do that in. Okay. Tyler Snyder says, yeah, you're going to be able to do a couple of transactions, but not scalable. Okay. Andra says Phoenix and Arizona, Detroit, Michigan, amazing markets. I love those markets. I think they're great. Okay. I'm buying in California now. I just closed on a deal in Hawaii today. I bought a sub 2 deal right on the ocean, 2 acres, 2% interest, going to put that in the portfolio. Eric says, what about 100,000 population? I think that that's okay. Me personally, are you guys okay if I tell you my personal opinion about my personal business, but you don't ever make a decision on your personal business based on my opinion? Are we okay with that? I personally would not invest in an area that doesn't have a population of at least 500,000 people or more. That's my personal opinion. Okay. Why? It's because there's way more activity, and I never sit around going, man, when's my next deal coming around? When's my next deal coming around? When's my next deal coming around? That doesn't mean you have to do that. That just means that that's what I do. And I did that for a long time. And then when I started branching out into other markets, and we branched into markets under 500,000, we just saw that things were a little bit slower. And I'm a faster paced type of person. So anybody in here is like, I don't need to do 20 deals a month like Pace or more. I would like to do maybe 20 deals a year. Okay. That's going to be a big part of what we're going to talk about. Okay. Yeah. Terry Ty, Pace is a faster paced guy. I'm a faster paced guy. Yvonne says, Sandpoint, Idaho. We are a small town, but Coeur d'Alene and Boise are better for deals for sure. Population makes a huge difference. Yes, Sandpoint is super cute, great town. I'll be there this summer, probably spend a couple of days there. But Sandpoint's not a market that I would go and search for. Now, if somebody sent me a deal in Sandpoint, Idaho, would I buy it? Yes. But would I go out there and start searching for deals? The answer is no, I would not. Okay. Richmond, Virginia is a great market. Yes, I love Richmond, Virginia. I think that's awesome. Okay, so that's mine. Now, where do we go to kind of figure these things out? I'll give you guys a link to the Census Bureau that gives you population and growth patterns. Okay, if you guys go here, let me give you guys the link real quick. If you go here, you'll see the Census Bureau and their website, and you'll be able to come in here and break down population, race, Hispanic origin, housing. So check this out. This will go to population change. I want to go into markets that are in the mint green. Okay, it looks like Illinois, Missouri, and West Virginia are actually slowing down. They're losing, okay, they're losing population. And then when you zoom in, you start seeing all these little brown areas. Look at this, guys. Do you want to move or start buying in areas that are in this 29% loss over the year? I don't think so, right? So this helps you determine. There's the link right there. Please save it, okay? Maj says, can someone work? Yes, you can become, bro, you could, Maj, let me ask you a question. If you bought, you guys want to know, you guys want to know the easiest way to become a millionaire? Buy 3 houses and wait. That's it. Being a millionaire, Maj, is that really your goal? Bro, come on, millionaire? Hey guys, I've given the link. The problem is you weren't ready for it. So hold on just a second. Let me turn the chat off. Okay. Do you really only want to shoot for being a millionaire? The answer is no, of course you don't. You don't want to be a millionaire. You want to be a multimillionaire. I would say that shooting for being worth $10 million is probably the minimum that people should be looking at. I honestly think the minimum you should be shooting for by the time you retire is probably closer to 50 million. Why? 2 reasons. Biggest one is inflation. Biggest reason is inflation. Think about what your net worth today, if you fast forward 50 years from now, right? I'm 40. I'm definitely going to live till I'm 90. What do you think my money today is going to be worth in 50 years? Probably 1/10 of it. So you have to go and continue to accumulate more and more and more. But the answer is yes. You can be a millionaire very easily. Just buy 3 houses and wait. That's the simplest way to do it. Okay. Give me an emoji, a heart emoji, if everybody's got the link in the side chat for the Census Bureau's government. Everybody's got the link. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hundreds of hearts. Thank you guys. We have 1,500 people here today, by the way. Okay, so choose a market. This is a big one for me. Okay, let's go back to the map and I'll spend a couple of minutes on this before we move to the next step. All right, so now I've got a bank account, I got an LLC, I am in Arizona. I'm in kind of a magical area where I live. Okay, if we actually zoom in on where I live, you'll see that Maricopa County is a pretty awesome market. We got 500 people on this website right now, so it's slow, which I love. It's great. I love crashing websites. It just means everybody's taking action. Look, it looks like it thinks Arizona and California are the same place. So I won't spend time here because you guys are all on this website, which is great, but take some time. Why is this important? It's important because of a couple of different things. One, you're going to be able to get a lot more growth long term. The goal to be a wholesaler? Is the goal to be a real estate agent? I'm sorry, but no, it's not. The goal is not to be a wholesaler. The goal is not to be a fix and flipper. The goal is not to be a real estate agent. Those might be steps in your path, depending on who you are, but that's not ultimately the goal. Everybody has the same goal. There's not one person in here that has a different goal than what I'm about to say. And that goal is to acquire passive real estate to bring eternal cash flow. That is your goal. You will never do that, okay? You will never do that by being a wholesaler or by being a real estate agent. You just won't. Will being a wholesaler help you get there faster? Yes. Will being an agent help you get there faster? Yes. There are advantages and disadvantages to that, but that is not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is for you to hold real estate, okay? And any wholesaler out there that educates you on, oh no, just keep wholesaling. Guys, name me one wholesaler that retired from wholesaling. I don't know one, okay? I don't know one that could retire from wholesale, okay? Jamil, I love him, but he didn't retire from wholesaling. He built a wholesale franchise and he makes money off other people's wholesale businesses, okay? Very different. Ishmael says, Pace, wear a hat. Okay, I will. I'll definitely wear a hat tomorrow. Thank you so much, Ishmael. Appreciate you. Okay, wholesaling is a good paying job. That's it. All right. So there you go. There's step number 2, pick a market. Okay, and let's go back to some of the things that you need to be aware of when you're doing this. Pick your own backyard if you can. If your market is not growing and you want to go virtual, then I would go on the Census Bureau. Here's a couple of other things too, okay, that I use as filters. Government view on investors should be positive. Who in here is not in an investor positive area? Meaning your government hates when people make money off being a real estate investor. Okay. So are those areas that you should maybe be building in? Politics do matter, guys. I'm so sorry, but politics do matter. If you guys are buying in Democrat states, Democrats tend to believe that everybody deserves a handout. And I'm neither Republican or Democrat. I'm part of the entrepreneur party. Whatever party is going to benefit me and my business, that's what party I'm part of. And currently, the only one I know about is the entrepreneur party. Okay. Can you give us an advice on how to move money back and forth between business and personal account? Valera, I will do that maybe on day 3. That is so very much off topic that I'm not going to answer that question, but thank you so much. Okay. I'm trying to answer a question of how to get started in real estate so that people in the future can watch this. So let's just stay on topic. That would be really helpful. Thank you so much. Okay. Love DFW. DFW is a great market. I own a lot of property there. Okay. What is the elephant challenge? Ishmael. I can't, Ishmael, this is the last time I read a single question from you. You're awesome, but you're just teasing me at this point. Okay. How is the New York City market? Here's a question. Do you know people in the New York City market that are super happy and they're trying to scale their portfolio in New York? If you do, then go and ask them. Are you grateful for starting in New York? Do you wish you started somewhere else? Okay. Zamirian says Dallas is not Fort Worth, by the way. Yes, it is. All you Texans out there think it's different. You also think Frisco is not Dallas. It is Dallas. All of those little surrounding cities, nobody can differentiate them. They're all connected. It's the same city. Okay. I think the whole country is amazing. Okay. I think you can buy in every state. And I think that you'll be happy in every single state. I think you'll be grateful of at least getting started in any state. Okay. But make sure that if you are going to go build a portfolio, this is why I started on the part where I said, hey, the goal, I'm going to say this again. The goal is to not end up as a wholesaler. It's not. If you want to wholesale and ultimately make money and see a lot more deals, the benefit of being a wholesaler is this, okay? The benefit of being a wholesaler is that you figure out how to generate leads, okay? So leads come into your business. Here's your business. You have leads come in because you figured out how to be a farmer and you farm deals, plant seeds, and you make a determination of how you do those. You wholesale some, you fix and flip some, and you buy and hold some. And what's great is as you are the person that controls the lead source, then you are also the person that controls how fast you can scale in this business. So being a wholesaler is magical. Okay. WS stands for wholesaler. It's magical in that regard, but ultimately the same goal exists. Nobody wants to be a wholesaler. I don't know any wholesaler ever in my life. I've never heard of a wholesaler going and doing an IPO. I've never heard of a wholesaler selling their wholesale business and say, buy my wholesale business. And then they go, oh, wow, I just made $100 million and I'm going to sail off into the sunset. After I pay my 40% tax on that 100 million, I'm walking away with 60 million. Doesn't exist. Doesn't happen. It does not happen. Wholesaling is not a business that you will exit from. What does an exit mean? It means exit the workplace, exit the money-making world. It's retirement. It's true. Like I've reached the point of FU money. You don't get that with wholesale. Wholesaling is, I made 10 grand today. Guess what? That means I have no money coming in tomorrow. I got to go and find another deal. I've done a lot of wholesale deals. We still wholesale a little bit, but overall I have graduated from wholesale. I feel like wholesale is elementary school and you got to get to junior high at some point. And then after junior high, you got to go to college. Okay. Or high school. And after high school, you got to go to college. Okay. What does that mean? I think wholesaling and being a real estate agent are elementary school. I think fixing and flipping is like middle school, right? You're like on the cusp there. You're wholesaling and you're fixing and flipping. And you're learning how to manage contractors and manage crews and raise money. Fixing and flipping is far more than just fixing and flipping. It's learning how to raise capital. It's getting you warmed up to, all right, I'm doing a project. I have a timeline. I have teams. I'm managing people. I'm learning skill sets. I'm accumulating resources and I'm getting credibility and showing people, hey, I can use your money as a private money lender. And I can then tell that story. So when I graduate to high school, which is buy and hold, okay? When I graduate to high school, which is buy and hold, I now have the credibility and it can tell people like, hey, I did this essay, I did this class, I did this thing. I'm credible and I can now borrow more money at a faster pace. And so many of you guys that are starting in this business just want to jump right into college. What would college be? College is typically multifamily or large commercial. That's like college. That's high level stuff, right? A lot of people don't ever make it there. And then what's funny is people just want to jump into multifamily. It's typically the engineer types. It's typically the super intelligent people are like, I'm going to skip elementary, junior high, and high school. I'm going straight to college. Guess what? They might be able to do that. I think that there is a very small select group of people, less than 1% of 1% could skip wholesale, skip fixing and flipping, skip single family accumulation, skip small multifamily and just go right into big multifamily. Maybe they're just have a higher IQ, right? But when you get into multifamily, there's way more moving parts, way more challenges, et cetera. 99.9% of people should not start in multifamily and not even touch multifamily for a handful of years. Okay. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear it because you have shiny object syndrome. Who in here has type in shiny object syndrome in the side chat? You have shiny object syndrome. You see all these cool people flying helicopters, jets, and cool cars, and you're like, I want to own multifamily. There you go. I think multifamily is a shiny object syndrome. You need to understand it's college. You cannot get into college without going through high school. Okay. Some of you guys that just want to skip everything, go to multifamily, good luck with that. You'll come back to me in 2 years and go, how do I get started? Oh, you'll go into multifamily, you'll spend $35,000 on somebody's education, and then you'll come back to me and you'll go, that didn't work. How do I get started? Okay. Andre Mendoza says, that's why I still don't have a deal done. I got shiny object syndrome. Okay. Ishmael Peterson, are you an engineer by Ishmael? Let's have a conversation. How about that? Ishmael. Oh, Ishmael. He's trying to, this will be the last time I probably talk to Ishmael. Ishmael, how you doing, man?
Hello.
Is the purpose just to be combative?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're listening on two different devices. Typical engineer. You have one phone thing going and you have a computer going. It's always the same thing. You got one thing going on your Android and one thing going on your computer.
I'm on my iPhone. I don't have it.
Ishmael, is your goal to be combative with everything I have to say?
My name is Ishmael. But no, I'm sorry, Pace.
Brother, if I have to break down even further and even more simple than I'm making this, I don't even know where to go. Like if I say 99.9% of people should go through the right process, and yes, there's people that should go into college, that can go to college and they can skip all of those things. That does exist, right? Do you remember me saying that about 2 minutes ago?
No, yeah, I remember.
Okay, so why did you need to point out to me, hey, Pace, technically people can go to college by skipping high school?
I don't know.
Why you got to do that, bro?
I shouldn't have done that.
Just chill, man. People are in here trying to learn, participate, but you don't need to you don't need to combat and say stuff all the time like, well, technically, well, yeah, I just had already said that. I said, hey, 99.9% of people should go through elementary, junior high, high school before they go into college. However, there's people way smarter than me that could skip all of that stuff and go directly to college. But 99.9% of people should not. And your answer to that is, well, did you know technically people could go to college without going to? Yes, bro. I just literally said that.
No, yeah, I heard you.
Then what was the point of the comment?
I was just typing. I wasn't.
Help me understand where you're coming from so I can understand your comments.
I'm coming from a good place.
Okay, brother, if I say something, you don't need to come back and say, well, technically, Pace. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Amazing. Stick with me, okay? Where do you live?
I live in Houston, Texas.
Amazing market. Is that the market you're choosing?
Yes, this is the market I'm choosing.
Amazing. Okay, stick with me because I'd love to see at the end of this next 2.5 hours that I got left, what market you chose, what strategy you're choosing, etc. I'd love to see your answers to everything, okay?
No, that's what I was asking earlier. I wasn't asking what is the elephant challenge. I was asking what is this month's elephant challenge because I wasn't in here. So I joined
this month's
later.
elephant challenge at the very beginning, you missed it. You must have shown up late, which is okay. I said, all I'm trying to do to answer for the next 3 days is to show people how to get started and to generate their first couple of leads and have all the resources they need just to get started. That's it. And if you're high level, like you already are started and you've done 25 deals, this is not the challenge for you. Okay. And if you're somebody out there like, I already know I want to be a wholesaler, I already have leads generating, then do not watch this challenge. It's not a challenge for you. This is really basic. Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Cool. And the reason why I point you out is because I'm trying to get through these steps. And every time I go through the steps, you're asking questions that are so far off topic. And I'm like, man, is this guy trying to trip me up or is he trying to be helpful?
No, I was definitely trying to be helpful.
Okay, brother. I appreciate you and I want to see you in the side chat. What you should be doing is helping people in the side chat that are here for the first time. It's their first experience into real estate. And those are the people I'm talking to today. Okay. I've been doing the Elephant Challenge for a year. I've done high level stuff, mid-level stuff, but today it's like baby steps, crawling. You're not going to learn a lot today because you're already probably a little bit more advanced, but there's somebody in here who in here is so brand new that you appreciate me just going really, really slow. Okay, so Ishmael, you see all those people in the side chat right now?
Oh, yeah, they're going crazy.
That's who this challenge is for today. So help me help those people, okay?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. All right, cool. So guys, here's what we got. I now know I need to get a bank account, okay? I now know I need to get an LLC, done. I now know I need to have a market. That's step number 2. You have to have a market. So a couple of things on the market. Go to the Census Bureau. Okay. Go to the Census Bureau, figure out a population that's growing, not slowing. My rule of thumb for me is that if a population is growing 0.8% or larger year over year, that means if they're at 100,000 people today, okay, they have 100,000 people in the market, they're going to grow basically, okay, 1,000 people this coming year. Okay, I want it to grow roughly 1,000 people. Now, if they got 1 million people, man, they're growing 10,000 people. They got 4, like in Maricopa County, we have roughly 6 million people. Okay. So with 6 million people, that means Arizona minimum should be growing 60,000 people per year in order for me to pay attention to that market. Does that make sense, everybody? I want to be in markets that are growing, not stagnant. And the reason for that is, again, if I'm trying to be a buy-in, is anybody here not interested in owning real estate and having passive income? Okay, you see the chat's like basically no. Give me a yes if you are interested in growing passive income. Okay, great. So would it make sense for me to go in and put my time, energy, resources, allocate a good chunk of my life to go into a market and buy real estate that is not in a growing population? Therefore, I cannot raise my rents every 2 years. Therefore, the value of the property doesn't go up every 2 years. Therefore, the third thing is that new buildings and new jobs and new opportunities are happening in that city, new restaurants, all sorts of cool things are going on. That is why we buy in growing populations. Does everybody understand? Give me a thumbs up, a yes, or some sort of emoji. Tell me that you understand that part. Okay, there you go. So now if I'm brand new, and you're going to have all the resources today. So make sure you take the notes. If I'm brand new, there's 6 steps to this. Step number 1, start a business. Step number 2, choose my market. Okay. Now who in here does not know their market yet? Okay. Okay. Cliff Sunkel says, okay, a lot of you guys say me. All right, cool. Jeremiah Dodds. Let me chat with you, Jeremiah Dodds. Let's see if I can help you make a decision. Jeremiah Dodds, you've got 2 devices. Why do people have 2 devices? I don't get that. Jeremiah, what's up, bro?
Not too much. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great. So Jeremiah, why are you hesitant on your market? What's going on in your mind that I can help you overcome?
Okay, so I live in Bonham, Texas, and it's a small town. It's got about 6,000 to 9,000 people.
Yep, that's an absolute no.
Okay, but it's about to really literally take off. Like,
bro, your
no.
taking off in Bonham, Texas is an extra 500 to 1,000 people a year. Okay, you go to Houston, Texas. What's your nearest big city?
Dallas.
Okay, 100% Dallas would be my market. Why? I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons why. Do you guys have a Nobu in Bonham, Texas?
I'm not sure what that is.
There's your problem.
Okay.
Okay, Jeremiah, can I pick on you a little bit?
Absolutely, yes.
Rich people don't live in Bonham, Texas. Now, are there people with a lot of money in Bonham, Texas? Of course, there's ranchers, there's people with large lots of land, but are those guys out there trying to network and going to meetups and hang out and all that kind of stuff?
No.
Okay, so why would you stay in a small town? Because small town folk have small town brains. They don't want to collaborate. They're very private, very religious, which religion's a great thing, not criticizing religion, but there's a mindset that comes along with religious folk. They don't want to collaborate. They're very scared. Okay. Small town folk have small town minds. So when you want to go raise money to go buy let's say 100-unit apartment complex, who are you going to get as a private money lender by focusing on Bonham, Texas?
Yeah, nobody.
Nobody. So you gotta future-proof your plans. This is what I'm talking about. You go to growing markets, and when you say, man, my city's about to blow up, bro, Dallas has more people move there than in 1 year. Okay. This is what's interesting. Dallas has more people move to Dallas in 1 year than 10 times the current population of Bonham, Texas.
Absolutely. I agree.
Okay. So your blowing up is not even 1/10 of Dallas at its slowest growth.
Okay. So how would you go about like getting tenants and all that kind of stuff with the distance?
Okay. I'll get to that.
Okay.
Now you're thinking way too far ahead.
Okay.
Okay. All I'm asking you here's a great question for you. Would you plant an orange tree in the middle of nowhere knowing, hey, you know what? Nobody's going to drive by this orange tree, but it's going to be pretty easy for me to plant it. How are you going to sell those oranges? Who's going to be your customer? How are you going to make money from that orange tree if it's in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, not going to happen.
Okay. Jeremiah, what'd you have for lunch today?
I actually had a Hot Pocket.
Okay, so you had a Hot Pocket. You probably got it from a local grocery store, right?
Correct.
Does the grocery store sit on a main thoroughfare, or does the grocery store, is it way out in the middle of nowhere and there's no traffic?
Yeah, on the main road.
Okay, so think about this. You want to future-proof your business. What is the main road of real estate? Well, it's a population of 500,000 or more that's growing at least 1% a year in a booming market. Jeremiah, there's so many things you have not learned, experienced, etc. Your private money lenders are not going to be local farmers that are very humble and very scared to invest their money in things other than their own farms, their own little things, their own little businesses. You need to go places where there is an abundance of capital, okay? Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to do one deal. Okay, and remember, what did I say at the beginning? Doing one deal is actually not about the deal at all. What is doing one deal actually doing?
The relationships, connecting people.
Okay, so do you want more relationships in Bonham, Texas, or do you want more relationships in Dallas, Texas, where there's an abundance of capital?
Definitely Dallas.
Okay, so nobody should be on the fence at that point, right? You go do a wholesale deal in Bonham, guess what? You just made a friend or a title company relationship in Bonham, Texas that you can't use now in 2 years, 3 years in the future when you're trying to build your portfolio.
Yeah,
Okay?
100%.
Zamarian Wigginton. So Jeremiah, does that help you?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Did that help anybody else, by the way? Sometimes I think some people just need to be told exactly what to do, right? You were basically told what to do your whole life. Zamarian Wigginton. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm really great. Can I tell you, you just brought up a really important point about being oversaturated. Let me ask you a question. If I could tell you, Zamarian, you're going to go, you get one shot. I'm going to give you a Subway sandwich franchise. I'm going to give you one shot. I'm going to buy it for you. I'm going to get the employees ready for you. Okay. Do you want to put your Subway sandwich shop next to Blimpie? You know what Blimpie is, right?
Never heard of it.
Holy shit. You live in a small town. Where do you live?
I live in Dallas.
How do you not know what Blimpie is? You guys have Blimpie in Dallas. Do you not get out? Okay.
Maybe
How about what's another sandwich shop you know about?
Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's.
Witch.
Boom. All right. So if I say, and your name is Zamarian, right?
That's perfect. Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's say that I go, all right, Zamarian, you have two choices and you can only pick one. You can put your Subway sandwich franchise in downtown New York City next to Jersey Mike's. You're literally touching your door. You could touch both your doors at the same time, their door and your door. Or would you rather put that in Bonham, Texas? Where would you go?
I'm going to New York.
Why the hell is it not the same thing about real estate?
In a sense, it is the same thing.
I'm going to tell you right now, everybody that is my competition becomes my collaborators. We sell deals to each other. Think about this. Have you ever gone to a sandwich shop, a hamburger spot or whatever? You show up, the line's too long, you go, oh, hell no. And you walk to the next door?
Yep.
Okay. So technically your competition actually brought you business, right?
Right.
There is no such thing as competition, brother. I want to be around people that are doing business. I want to be around, write this down. I want you to write this down, Zamarian, somewhere. I don't care where you write it, your Apple Notes, wherever. You need to be around the activity. Okay? You need to be around the energy of activity. Okay? Now, Zamarian, do you ever work out? You ever go on a run with music playing?
All the time.
Okay, you have like, listen, this morning I was listening to Travis Scott, Sicko Mode, and it was like being mixed in with Skrillex, which was insane. How much faster, how much harder did I work out when I listened to that?
Probably more than what you were already, harder than what you were already doing, I would assume.
Right, and then all of a sudden, what happens when you get a slow song that comes up in the playlist next?
It could probably slow you down.
Is it, bro, you say probably as if you've never experienced this. You're either giving me an answer or you're not giving me an answer. Has it slowed you down?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to a small town where there's no competition. Do you think that's going to elevate your mind? Is it going to elevate your business, or is it going to slow you down and you're going to be frustrated?
I would say it could definitely elevate you for sure when it's all around you. Absolutely.
Right, because it's all you think about, it's all you hear, it's all you speak about, all your friends are talking about it. Your competition becomes your best friends. Okay, now this is the problem, is that this is not taught in high school. This is not taught in college. You are taught everybody is your competition. Bro, Jamil is my competition. Him and I do not own a single business together, yet I have made millions and millions of dollars because I hang out with him. Okay? You need to be around the energy of activity. Do you want to be in a population, let's say a city? Do you want to be in a city that, let's say Maricopa County, where I live, we have 14,000 real estate transactions happen every single month. Do you want to be in that market, or do you want to be in a market like Bonham, Texas, that has 25 real estate transactions a month?
I would definitely want to be somewhere where they're having more activity.
There you go. More activity. There's more buyers. Here's another question for you. Last question. Let's say that I'm selling t-shirts. Okay. And it's my full-time living. I'm selling t-shirts. Do I want to go where there's a lot more people or a lot less people?
Obviously, more people.
Well, what if there's other t-shirt people that are selling other t-shirts?
Just got to step your game up, I guess.
Right. So here's the last question. Would you rather have a problem with having a lack of customers, or would you rather have the problem of having to become a little bit better than your competition? Which one would you rather have?
Definitely the second problem.
There you go. So when you guys are going into these small little teeny markets, okay, and you guys are thinking, oh, there's no competition. Yeah, there's no competition because there's no customers. Your entire job is to sell a product to a customer. That is all you do. Okay. Even when I'm buying and holding, Zamarian, my job is to sell a product to a customer. If I'm a buy and holder, right? I'm a landlord. What product am I selling and what is my customer?
Selling housing.
I'm selling a lease to a tenant. Do I want to go to a market where nobody's moving because there's no job opportunities? Or do I want to be in a market where there's an abundance of growth and there's so many people that it's a waiting line to get into my apartment complex?
Yeah, I'm sure you'll want an abundance of people.
There you go. Guys, have we solved the solution about competition yet? Have we hammered that nail hard? Everybody give me a yes in the side comment. Has that answered the question for everybody? Zamarian, has that answered the question for you?
That answers the question for me. Step your game up.
Okay, step your game up, and more importantly, make friends with your competition because they become your greatest collaborators. Think about this. Think about this, brother. Are you into rap music at all?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm into rap music a ton. Okay, think about Snoop Dogg and Tupac back in the day, right? Did those guys not have their own records?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, but why were they hanging out with each other? Aren't they competing for the same people to buy their own CDs at the time?
They were, but they probably knew they could help each other as well.
There you go. In fact, what they did is they started featuring on each other's albums and helping each other grow. That is what collaboration is about. They could have easily attacked each other. They could have easily criticized each other, said, I don't like his style, I don't like his this, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better. Instead, they put each other on each other's albums and they postured each other up. Okay. If you want to win, you have to collaborate. That's it.
Gotcha.
Cool?
Cool.
Okay. No more competition conversation ever again from you.
Hey, that's done.
Love it. Thank you, brother. Great question, though. It teed me up to answer that for everybody else. Was that helpful, everybody, to hear that? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go over one more thing before we go to step 3, but I want to make sure everybody says, yes, I've chosen my market. Okay. Yes, I've chosen my market. And here's the last way to do this. Okay. Here's an easy way to do this. If I go to Privy, we're gonna talk about Privy tomorrow. But if I go to Privy, I'm going to go in and I'm going to see all the activity that's going on across the country. Okay. So where are some obvious places that I do not want to focus my business? Tell me some obvious places. Do you guys think we should be building a business in North Dakota and South Dakota when there's literally 4 listings in all of South Dakota right now? What about Nebraska, in the center of Nebraska? What about the center of Kansas? Is that a good place to be? Is this making sense? Well, hold on, guys. There's no competition over here. Guys, in North Dakota, there's no competition. So why don't we focus on North Dakota? Come on, guys. Doesn't it make sense? Like, there's no competition in North Dakota and South Dakota. Like, nobody is going to bother me. I can just do this myself. There you go. There's no customers. Okay. The blue bubbles are where activity is happening. Okay. By the way, we will talk about Privy tomorrow. This is the only tool I told you guys at the very beginning. There's about 500 people that showed up late, but the only tool I told you that we're going to tell you guys about is Privy. Because I feel like out of every avatar that I'll talk about tonight, it's the only tool that everybody can use. So you guys can go to startwithprivy.com. I don't know if you guys have it or not. Hold on. Let me spell it correctly first off. Startwithprivy.com. Carly, can you give me an actual link? Because I'm kind of dumb. I can't get my actual link in there. I'm stupid. Okay, so check this out. You think maybe Tennessee's a great freaking, look at Nashville, dude, with 2,000. You think Nashville's maybe a good place to go where there's a lot of activity and a lot of people for me to talk to and opportunities to see? Give me an emoji, yes. Okay, let's do a little test. What about St. Louis? Is St. Louis maybe a good place to go? Okay, what about Colombia? You think Colombia is a good spot to go? Down, give me a no, or actually give me a laughing face if you say no. Okay. Guys, this is not that hard. Pick a market. Now, you can change your markets. I change and add my markets frequently. Okay. But I'm not going to go to the middle of Nevada. I'm not going to go up into the middle of Oregon. There's nothing going on here. Do you think I want to go to Bend, Oregon and make that my primary place to wholesale deals? Are there even any deals going on there? No. Okay. So that is the last part of that step. So I'm going to go through it one more time before I move to step 3. Step 3 is really robust and it's a juicy boy. So I want to make sure that we are ready for this. And before I move on to step number 3, I want to make sure everybody says, yes, I have, and I'll open up the chat here in a second. Okay, let me add this real quick. Let me add this little step here. Check activity on start with privy.com. Privy, by the way, guys, is the only website that gives MLS data. So it's, even if you're not a licensed real estate agent, you can have basically licensed real estate agent data. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is going to be a juicy boy. Before I move on to the next step, give me a yes. Has everybody in the side chat, give me a yes. Have you guys all picked your market? And if you say yes, okay, give me a yes in the side comments, and I want to see, where did you choose? What market did you choose? Okay, Atlanta, love Atlanta. Buffalo, awesome. Cool. I really see all of these as great markets, really great markets. By the way, guys, make sure your comments are not just on host and panelists. Make sure your comments are to everyone. A lot of you guys have your comments selected to hosts and panelists. There you go. Turn it to everyone. Turn it to everyone so everybody can see. All right. Okay, so for some of the people that are brand new, do you feel like you've moved forward a little bit? You've got some information. You know how to choose a market. Give me a yes if this has helped you so far. I promise you I'm going to help you out so much more, because people are like, well, hold on, I don't know. Tell me where to get a deal. Tell me where to go. We'll get there. One of the reasons why you've failed is because meanwhile, you got doctors going to school for 12 years to perform surgery. And some of you people that are trying to get started in real estate can't even wait 3 hours for an answer. Okay. South Carolina is an amazing market. Okay. Give me a yes in the comments if we have made progress. Actually, type in progress today if you've made progress today. Type in progress if you've made progress today. Awesome. Thank you so much. And for the people that are in here and you're like more advanced, thank you for being patient. And I know you guys are in here to help. Thank you guys so much. All right, here we go. Let's get into the next step. The next step is choosing your avatar. Now, I have multiple avatars. Some of you guys think you know everything I'm going to say. There's a new iteration to this that I just figured out today. I thought about this as kind of 2 categories. I thought about it as farmers and harvesters. Okay. Joel says, I'm just lost. Joel, how could you be lost, brother? We've barely even started. Let's have a conversation with you, Joel. If you started late, I'm going to bark at you. Joel.
Yeah, how you doing, mate?
How are you lost, brother?
You know, I really didn't think you would read that. I'm actually a month in, and I'm just watching a lot of videos, and I thought I'd join the challenge just to.
Okay, so Joel,
I don't know.
Forget about
Yes.
all the other videos. Forget about everything else you're learning. All I want you to do is focus on, this is just going to answer you how to get started. That's it.
Yep.
Have you picked your market?
Well, at the moment, I need to wholesale just so I can get some money going on.
Have
and I'd
you
like to
picked
jump
your market?
in local
And what is that market?
Bay Area.
Amazing. Okay, so you're in the Bay Area. So you know we have one of the most amazing NorCal communities of all time. Fresno, Modesto, the Bay Area, Sacramento. They all get together monthly. They even have a Zoom every single week, and they all help each other and they do deals with each other. Have you been participating in those Zooms?
Yes.
Okay, so when you say I'm lost, what do you mean by I'm lost? Help me understand, what does that mean? Okay, so here let me give you an example, Joel. Pace, I'm lost because I have not decided where my leads should come from.
Yeah.
That would be one example of maybe being lost, but you got to be more specific than just I'm lost.
Indecisive.
Okay, so you're indecisive.
I want to kind of, yes, I want to, I'm about to start this and then jump on this and then hear something else. I click on this and then you just kind of get rattled around.
We are going to figure that out for you today.
Yeah. Apologies.
Okay? No apology needed. When somebody's saying they're lost, I have to speak to them very strongly. I've been teaching for a long time, so I learn the personality type that gets overwhelmed really easily. I need to be strong with you so it gets your attention. So you think I'm mad even when I'm not. So you pause and you take note and you absorb what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hugely indecisive.
Okay. So you're indecisive. We are going to get through that indecisiveness in the next step. Okay.
You got it.
Okay. Now, everybody, please pay attention. This whole entire challenge is for people like Joel. It's to cut through your bullshit, because you have bullshit that you have accumulated, baggage from your parents, from your family members, from your work life, from your church, from wherever it is. And you're like, oh my gosh, I've been told what to do my whole life. And now I'm in a situation where I have to make a decision and it's all resting on me. Guess what? I was there too for 10 years. I know exactly how you feel. And that's why I'm doing this. Okay. So Joel,
yes,
you are indecisive because you have not focused on your avatar. Your avatar will tell you the next step, which is how to generate leads. And when you have actual leads, you don't have a problem of being lost anymore. Okay. Do you know where your leads should be coming from, Joel?
Well, I started doing the Lanza method, oddly enough, from the Bay Area. And
okay. And then you slowly stopped because you didn't see results in 30 days.
I stopped because I done driving for dollars in my local area, and I was like, man, I should be attacking this list instead of jumping onto the Lanza.
Okay, so your shiny object is what you got.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Guys, is this the recipe for success? Is shiny object?
No.
Okay. So we can't say I'm lost. Please don't ever, guys, and Joel, don't apologize, by the way. This is a really great example for everybody. Never, ever say the word I'm lost, because it's not accurate, right? It's I'm a victim of shiny object syndrome. Can you help me focus on one strategy? That's really what you need. It's not, I'm lost. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. And you're not explaining things properly, because that's when somebody's educating and they hear, I'm lost. What do you think I think? I think I missed something for the last hour. But really, that's not your actual problem. Your actual problem is that you are suffering from shiny object syndrome. Right? It's kind of like the guy that wants to get a six-pack. Right? So he's like, people go, oh, you got to do sit-ups and you got to eat less food. Perfect. Next thing you know, you're at the gym and you see a guy doing a bunch of chest exercises. And you're like, man, he's got a really great chest. I should go over there and start doing bench press. And then your coach goes, dude, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know. This guy was over here doing bench press. What do you do? Get your ass back over there and do those sit-ups. Well, I know, but I wasn't seeing results. Did anybody in here? Saul says, by the way, Saul says, damn, that has been me. So Joel, this is really helpful for a lot of other people. Okay. So I'm not picking on you. I'm actually
No,
using.
I know. I understand you loud and clear.
Okay, cool. So here's the thing. Anybody in here ever do a diet for 2 weeks and it just worked and you hit your ideal weight and then you're like, dude, I'm done for the rest of my life?
Me.
Okay. But that's what you guys are essentially doing when you go start a business. Now, think about this. Did Michael Jordan he just practiced for like 30 days on his layup, and then he was like, all right, I'm done with my layup. I'm going to go do my free throw for 30 days. And then he jumped over to 3-point. Or did that guy get so damn good at each one of those things over and over and over for years and years and years and years and years, just for his high school team to cut him? And then he goes, perfect. I just haven't practiced enough. I'm going to go right back to exactly what I know I should be doing. And he stayed consistent. The problem is, this is honestly, I'm going to tell you guys the biggest problem you all have. Here's the biggest problem. This is a hard one. This is a hard pill to swallow. You have been a drone ant for your entire life. Your parents told you what to do. Your school teachers told you what to do. Your church leaders told you what to do. Then your college professors told you what to do. And then you applied to let another adult human being tell you what to do for the rest of your life. That is literally your problem. You are like, just tell me what to do. And it's a mindset. Then a lot of you men go get married because you want another person to tell you what to do. Or you women got married because you subconsciously watch somebody else get married and you go, I just need another person to tell me what to do. I just want to go through life where somebody just tells me what to do for the rest of my life. And I can just be neutral. I just want to be in neutral for the rest of my life. I'm looking for comfort. Okay. Jathan Nate says, I'm 99.9999% right. Shannon Glanton says, why was this the most accurate truth ever? Does everybody agree with this? You've been told what to do your whole life. You've never had to actually live out on your own. You've never had to figure this out on your own. Your boss tells you when to show up, when you're getting paid, what to do. More importantly, your boss tells you what not to do all the time. So you expect that within 30 days, you're going to break that chain of being a slave to all of those people. You're going to break that chain mindset wise. No, it's not going to happen. Okay. Now I just heard something, Joel. Hopefully this will help you. I heard this. This is really, really good. You guys want to hear something really cool? I actually saved this. I sent it to my buddy, Alex Hermosi. I sent this to him. And, I was just blown away by it. He said this. So let's go to saved real quick. I saved this. It was so good. Pay attention to this.
Addiction. 25% of soldiers who went to Vietnam tried heroin. It was like an insane statistic. And in the US, 90% of heroin addicts who go to clinics relapse. So they have a 10% long-term success rate. Tough. The stats are completely reversed from people who got addicted or did heroin in Vietnam and then came back to the US. You could draw the line, which is, it's better to change your environment than to even do anything else, because what happens is you eliminate all the triggers and cues that are associated with the habit that you're trying to destroy. People are in the environment that they're addicted. They change environments and they go to a clinic. They change the environment, they change their behavior. And then they go back to the same environment and their behavior changes yet again to match the environment. And so it's like, if you want to change your actions, the easiest thing you can do is just change the environment. Because if you can do that, a lot of times, a lot of the negative things you have, you just don't get triggered. You don't get the cue for the behavior. It just gets extinguished.
So there you go. You're a product of your environment. None of us are smarter than our environment. None of us. I'm not. You know what I figured out? I figured out these 6 steps that I'm going to give you today, Joel. These 6 steps, I don't even talk about creative finance or wholesale at all today. I'm not even going to talk about any of those because none of those are important. Strategy, tactics are not important unless you figure these things out. And what you're struggling with is you're struggling with mindset stuff and that you've been a slave your entire life. Guess what? So was I. All the way until I was 30 years old, until somebody grabbed me by the shoulder and forced me to change my environment and forced me to change the people I hung out with. And guess what? I didn't change overnight. Just like it took me 30 years to become a drone piece of shit. That's what I call myself. I was a slave to my environment. I was a slave to the people I went to church with. I was a slave to my school. I basically just became my environment. And I had one person come to me and force me to change my environment, force me to change my friends. And it took me 3 years before I woke up and realized where the change actually happened. It's going to take you more than 30 days, brother. How old are you right now, Joel?
39, turning 40 this September.
So do you think that you've lived your entire life, 39 years old, by everybody else telling you what to do, and all of a sudden in 30 days of doing the Lonza method, everything's going to change?
Not at all, mate.
So we got to be consistent.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for letting me pick on you because I think a lot of people got benefit from that. Did anybody get benefit from that? Okay. And guess what? It's okay. I'm not mad at our government. People criticize our government and go, oh my gosh, they want the school system to be like this. Guys, think about this. How in the hell is the government supposed to know who are going to be the born entrepreneurs? How is the government supposed to figure that out? What mechanism is going to figure that out? If I was the government, I would make a shitty school system exactly the same way. I think they're doing the best they possibly can. It's our job to break out of it, not the government's, not our parents, not our churchgoers, nobody else. It's our job to break free of it. 99% of the people, you know what? I am so grateful for those people because those people, 99% of people will never break free of the enslavement. And that just means it should be that much easier for me to have 99% less competition when I enter into the entrepreneur world. Nobody is consistent except for the 1%. And if all I am is imperfectly consistent, I make mistakes every day consistent on the thing on the focus that I'm on, and I'm imperfect. I make mistakes. I fail every day. I try to fail. I purposely go to fail every single day. I will win by default. That's it. The problem is most of you guys, okay? Most of you guys think that this is about tactics and strategies. Nope. It's about mindset and focus. How do you get over your fears, Rhonda? Hang out with better people. Write this down and don't think that I'm anti-religion because I love my religion, but your church sucks and the people that go to church with you suck and the people you hang out with suck and the family members you hang out with suck. If you tell me that you make 50 grand a year, I can tell you your 5 closest friends also make 50 grand a year. I'm sorry, but that's poverty. Okay, Brian says, I have no friends now. Well, we're going to change that today. Okay, Joel, thank you for letting me pick on you, brother. It's super helpful to a lot of people. Okay, do we all agree that this requires you guys to wake up? There's people in here that are like, Pace just said my church sucks. I hate him. I'm sorry. Did I say your God sucks? Did I say the universe or Jesus or any of that sucks? No, I didn't. The structure of your church and the people in it suck, and they've held you down. Jackson says, no, my church don't suck. Okay. I hope that the people at your church are actually helping you make money. You are worthless without the ability and skill set to make money. I didn't say you're worthless to your mom. I didn't say you're worthless to your dad. I didn't say you're worthless to your children, but you are worthless to the work environment without the skill set of creating income. That's it. Okay. So when you're mine too. Okay. Mine too. I go to church. I love church. It's great. But I also know that the people there are poisonous. Okay. I know that when I go to social events and I start listening to people complain about their lives, I'm like, whoa, you guys are poisonous. I need to get the hell out of here. Okay. The people that you hang out with are the reason you're successful or you're not. That's it. And it sounds so cliche, but anyway, let's keep going. Okay. Have we figured out our markets? Can we move on to the next step? Okay. All right. Step number 3, you need to choose your avatar. Now you heard gentleman right before say that he chose the Lanza method. Oh, no, I'm on step 3. Kimberly, I'm on step 3. I have not even gone through step 3. All right. So step 3 is your avatar. Now I'm going to break this down into 2 categories. Okay. You are either a farmer or you are a harvester. Okay. What does that mean? The farmer is the person that plants the seed and does the hard work to plant the seed. The harvester is the person who benefits from the farmer's work. Okay. You are not planting seeds. Okay. You are harvesting somebody else's. Okay. Lizane Mayer says, currently a farmer, I need to harvest. Interesting. Now, let me explain that to you because you don't know the difference. Okay. I don't think a lot of people know the difference. If I'm calling a seller directly, I am a farmer. I am farming opportunities. I'm creating opportunities. That is a farmer. If I'm calling agents directly, I am a farmer. I'm farming and creating opportunities. Okay. However, if I'm JVing with people and helping people find a buyer for their deal, am I the farmer? Did I create the opportunity? Or did I harvest and benefit from somebody else farming the opportunity? Okay. Now, I primarily am a farmer because a farmer has control. Okay. Luis Alvarez, let's have a conversation here for a second. Okay. Luis Alvarez says, what is JV? Thank you for the question. Luis, how you doing?
How you doing, brother? Nice to talk
Good.
to you.
Thank you so much. So JV means joint venture. So Luis, let's say that I find a house, right? And I get it under contract, right? I find a house that's just falling apart. I call the seller. The seller's like, yeah, give me, I don't even care. Buy it for 20 grand. And I'm like, wow, I've spent so much time looking for these opportunities. I haven't spent any time looking for a buyer because I'm not the buyer. Luis, do you know how wholesale works?
Not really.
Okay. So Luis, you know that Amazon does not, I'm sorry. Where do you shop your grocery shop?
A grocery outlet down the street.
Okay. So grocery outlet down the street, do they farm the eggs?
I don't think so.
The answer is no.
No.
Do they farm the eggs?
No.
Okay, so you can agree that the egg farmer sells their eggs to the grocery store and the grocery store finds the buyer for those eggs. And that would be called a joint venture. The farmer and the grocery store come together and go, let's joint venture. You got your own business. I got my own business, but we benefit each other. This is a joint venture.
Got it.
Okay. And guess what? The grocery store finds you the buyer. Guess what the grocery store is doing? They're wholesaling eggs to you.
To me, the buyer. Got it. Okay.
Okay. So the same thing goes in real estate. Did you know that most fix and flippers and most buy and holders, people that are actually holding real estate, don't find their own deals?
How do they generate them?
The same damn way that you go pick up eggs, my brother. They rely on the supermarket of deals called wholesalers and real estate agents.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
100%.
So if I'm a fix and flipper, I can just go down to the supermarket of deals, which is called wholesalers and real estate agents. And I go to them and I go, hey guys, I want to buy some eggs. And they go, yeah, no problem. So where do they go? They're the supermarket. So they don't actually have the eggs. They go to the seller of those eggs, which would be obviously a house. That would be the farmer. Okay.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So there's so many people that make money in real estate. And this is why real estate is so challenging, is because there's so many ways to make money that it confuses people.
That's me.
Okay. So think about this. Let me tell you something. This is even better.
Mm.
Okay. Farmer makes the eggs, creates the opportunity, right?
Yep.
Okay. He sells them to the supermarket. Supermarket, is that the last person that has the ability to make money?
No.
Who else could make money?
The farmer himself.
No, the farmer's already made money. He sold it to the supermarket.
Oh.
My question was, is he are they the last person?
The farmer is the last person.
Oh, bro. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
How could he be the last person when he already sold it to the supermarket? That's the first step, bro.
You're saying the
Okay,
supermarket.
hold on. You're not great. You must be on a phone or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, so check it out. So you got Farmer John, okay? He goes and farms these eggs, right?
Okay.
He sells his eggs to the supermarket, okay? And let's say he sells those eggs for $1 a dozen. Guys, please don't make a comment about the $1 per dozen bullshit. Like somebody's going to come in here and go, oh, eggs are way more money than that. Shut the hell up. We all know. It's just it's for math purposes, okay? So the farmer sells his eggs to the supermarket, right? Supermarket then tells you, hey, eggs over here are $3. So you, Luis, go, hey, I'm going to feed my family. I'm going to go pay the $3 for those eggs. So you obviously benefited your family. Okay. So let's think about it this way. The farmer could be the seller, right? They're going to sell their house. Who are they going to have represent them? Probably an agent, which would be the supermarket in this example.
Yes.
Okay. Then the agent sells the house to you and your family, and you guys are benefited from that house because you get to raise your children there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is a simple example of this analogy. Now let's think about it another way. Okay. Now, by the way, the supermarket is wholesaling this. They didn't create the product. They found it at a lower price and sold it to you, right?
Okay.
So they wholesaled it. Make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, cool. Now, is it not possible that maybe an Instacart or what's another Instacart kind of company, guys?
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats. There you go. So if I want to get, or there's a company called GoPuff as well in my neighborhood. Could these companies not even mark up those eggs even more to sell them to Luis? Could they not do that?
They could.
Okay, great. So you see how every relationship, depending on the convenience that is brought to the relationship, there's multiple people that get to make money in real estate, right?
Yeah. So the farmer is the person that can kind of takes the initiative. They can start calling sellers. And
This is the seller. The seller is the person who basically the seller is the eggs, I should actually say.
Yes.
Okay, the chicken. Okay. The seller is the chicken. They create the eggs. They create everything comes from that chicken. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The farmer could be multiple different people. And this is where real estate gets confusing. The farmer could be a wholesaler, could be an agent, depends on the situation, it depends on the strategy. Okay. So let me explain this to you. Okay. So let's say that I got a seller. They own a house. Okay. Everything starts with the seller and a house, right? Every real estate deal starts with a house. We can agree with that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Does every deal come from an agent?
Not always.
Not always. Okay. Does every deal come from a wholesaler?
No.
No, not always.
Mm.
And you know what's even more funny than this? This is where it gets confusing for people.
Agent, wholesaler.
Sometimes the seller sells directly to the consumer, right? I can go farm to table, right?
Yeah.
Luis, couldn't you go on like you could go and buy a for sale by owner on Zillow, and you could go directly to the seller yourself and go buy a house to live in directly from buying without an agent, without a wholesaler?
Without paying the fees and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Got it.
so many, and all of this exists in real estate. It's the same exact thing. Here's what's funny, Luis and everybody else. You guys are living the real estate world all the time. All these relationships you have going on with Instacart. That's a what we call a micro flipper or an Astro student. Okay, Astro students are like the Instacarts. Oh, you guys are that lazy? Oh, I'll make a spread between the super. You don't even want to go to the supermarket? No problem. I'll make a spread between this. Okay. Astro flipping. Yeah. So is this starting to sink in just a little bit? I can go way more in depth. Okay. This is starting to make a little bit of sense. Okay. So every deal starts with a seller, and it depends on the situation with the seller. If the seller is not highly motivated, Luis, okay, they're typically going to go through a real estate agent or sell on FSBO. Okay, they're going to call an agent and they're going to say, hey, agent, will you put this house on the MLS? Okay, great. Or the seller is like, I don't even respect real estate agents, so I'm just going to do a FSBO, a for sale by owner. I'm going to list it myself. Okay, or let's say the seller falls into foreclosure and a real estate investor like me, wholesaler or an investor, goes, oh my gosh, this seller's in foreclosure. So that wholesaler could call that seller and go, hey, can I buy your deal? So many different ways that seller can sell that house, depending on the seller and depending on the situation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are so many people involved in a real estate transaction. So this next section that I'm going to go through is going to help you understand who these people are and how you can make a decision on who you're going to focus on. Okay.
Okay.
Beatrice Cruz says, Pace, how can I do my first deal without an LLC? Beatrice, why would that even be a question? Why would that even be a question? Why is this the choice of questions? Out of all the questions you could ask, the question is, Pace, how can I do things the way you told me not to? Beatrice. Beatrice. All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Help me understand where that question's coming from.
So basically, I have everything set up. So I have Privy. We already selected our market. We're gonna be in Central Florida. That's what we're aiming for. But honestly, I just had a child, as you can hear her crying in the background.
Okay, so Beatrice, the way I would do it is I would joint venture with somebody else who does have an LLC. That's the way I would do it.
Okay.
Who's your best friend in real estate?
Who's my best friend in real estate?
Yep. And if you don't have an answer, then you're a knucklehead. Just say I'm a knucklehead.
I'm a knucklehead.
There you go. There's your biggest problem. Your biggest problem is if you don't have an answer to that question, just immediately say that's my problem.
Okay.
It is. And again, I've told people this 100 times. Everybody thinks it's about technique. You think it's about technique and like how good of a comper I am. But the reality is your environment and what you think about and what you talk about on a daily basis and who your friends are and what you guys are texting about. Beatrice, have you had I don't want to pick on you. I'm going to pick on the audience. Has any of you guys texted each other's friends in the last couple of weeks and said, hey, are you watching the game? Are you watching the NBA finals? You guys any of you guys out there texting each other? There's a couple of guys that just say yes. Okay. Luke Flynn.
I personally haven't.
Okay. So if that's so those conversations, are they negative? No, but they take the place of other conversations leading you to a path of money. So it's the same thing with, do you text your sisters, Beatrice?
Yes.
And they complain about their husbands a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what your problem is?
Yes, I have to get more involved with the sub-2 community.
You have to get involved with people that are also involved in real estate. And how did I know you're texting your sisters and they're complaining about their husbands?
I don't know, possibly because your wife does the same thing.
My wife will never complain about me and her. You'll never hear my wife say a complaint about me ever once. And you will never hear me complain about my wife to anybody else. We elevated from that 10 years ago. So my point is, when you're stuck in anything, it's because the environment that you're in. And I can tell you immediately, there's like, Beatrice, you got a lot of stuff going on in the background, so I'm going to mute you. But does anybody kind of agree with that? You guys understanding where I'm heading with that? You guys think it's technique. You guys think it's comping. You guys think it's the next easy button. It is literally the same answer every single time. It is, are you hanging out with the appropriate people? It will completely, oh, Kyle Ross says Pace doesn't complain. Yeah, Pace, I told her, I fired my wife as an agent. I told her, I'm going to put you on payroll. I don't ever want you to do another listing ever again. I don't want my wife doing that. Okay. Crystal Miller. Oh my word, Crystal Miller. Oh, this is not going to be good for you. Crystal Miller.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Is there any way to talk you down?
Crystal.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Crystal,
Yes.
you should just give up
Why?
because you already did.
I didn't. I did message people online to try to make connections.
Where online?
Like you on Rain, WREIN, on
I don't even know what that is.
multiple platforms of women entrepreneurs. So I did, message some people and I said, hey, do you want to do connections?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm sorry for the women entrepreneur things.
Okay.
The women entrepreneur groups are catty, negative, and they're constantly fighting. Tell me I'm wrong.
But you did make the comment. So I'm just saying that I did, because I did wholesaling.
Go to my free Facebook group and link in with people that are doing physical meetups in your location.
Well, I did try also in your Facebook group, and I got one person who called me, but he said he would call me back and never called me back. So I didn't.
Ain't nobody ever gonna call you back. What are you gonna do when a seller says they're gonna call you back and they don't call you back, Crystal?
I keep on calling and I keep, being persistent.
Crystal, where did you learn this bad behavior? Who taught you this?
I don't know.
Your parents, maybe?
No.
Do you think if you're let's say this, Crystal, you have children?
Yep, just had a newborn.
Okay, perfect. So your newborn grows up and they come to you and they go, Mom, I tried. This person said they were going to call me back and they didn't call me back. Are you going to say, yeah, F those people? Or are you going to say, really? You tried one time with that one person?
No, I tried one time in your community, but I did reach out.
Crystal, answer my question.
Yeah, I do, but I just don't want to be
How are you going
overwhelming.
to answer your newborn when they say this person didn't call me back? Are you going to say that that's perfectly appropriate, or are you going to say, are you joking me?
I'm going to say be persistent, but not too much.
Bullshit. There's no such
guess-
thing as too persistent.
Yeah, I guess.
Are you going
yeah,
to, is
you're
that what
right.
you're going to tell your child?
No. Well, I mean, no. I mean, if
Then
it's
why do you think it's okay for you to do that?
I just, maybe you're
Say
right.
you're
but I just
Crystal.
didn't-
For the
Mhm.
first time in your life, just say you're right.
You're right.
Don't
You're
fight
right.
me. I know shit.
I'm not.
Don't
I'm
fight
not
me.
fighting. I'm not.
Then don't defend yourself.
Okay, you're right.
Just go, dude, you're right. If
Dude, you're right.
if my child was doing this and they grew up
Mm-hmm.
and they made a couple of phone calls, we did a little bit of outreach, and they go, you know what? People don't want to collaborate with me.
Yes.
I'm sure you'd tell your child, yeah, you're right. Just give up. This is not a good business for you.
No.
Okay, then why are you doing it? Just say you're right. You can end the conversation by saying you're right.
You're absolutely right, but I just want to tell you something. You are right.
If it's gonna defend yourself, then I don't want to hear it.
Okay, then you're right.
There you go. Crystal, where do you live?
Pennsylvania for now.
You're in Pennsylvania. Who's in Pennsylvania that can link in with her? There you go. We got 6 people right there have already made a comment.
That's great. And we want to move to Florida in a couple of months.
Okay, well then link in with people, Crystal. I'll email you everybody's contact information. Guys, if you're in Pennsylvania, can you please message Crystal Miller, please?
Yes, message me, please.
Crystal, guess
Yes.
what?
What?
Do you know how many people I reach out to that don't want to collaborate with me? Even me, the so-called super pace guy that you guys think is the super guy. You don't know how many people that shun me and go, oh, you're this guy, you're on YouTube, you're blah, 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 blah. You know what I say? I'm like, that is awesome. You know what my filter, here's my filter. This is what I say. I go, I didn't deserve your respect today, so I'm going to go earn it and I'll be back.
Right.
Instead of me go, oh, F these people. They don't want to collaborate with me. F them. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing enough. I'm not providing enough value, and I'm not being persistent enough. I'll be back.
Right. You're right. I just didn't want to come off too strong. That's why. Like, who is this girl messaging me 5,000 times?
You know
That's
what? Here,
why.
let me ask you another thing, Crystal. When you go and build a business and you hire your first employee, do you want the first employee to be an overly persistent person that you're like, damn, who is this girl? Or the person you're like, man, where's your heart? Where's your oomph?
Right. Yes.
How are you going to impress me if you're trying to come and apply for me, or vice versa?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, Ed Mary. Ed Mary says, like Grant Cardone that emails me 30 times a week. Yeah, because he got you talking about it in my side chat. He successfully was persistent. Can we not agree with that? You literally just talked about him in my side chat. Homeboy did his job. And guess who has more money than me and you and half the people in this room combined? Shut the hell up about criticism. Stop the criticism stuff, okay? And some of you guys that have been in here and you're advanced and you want me to move to the next step, guys, the reason you're failing is because you think we need to move to the next step. Do you maybe think that I know what the hell I'm doing? And when somebody has a mindset issue that would cause them to fail on the next step, maybe I would stop and pause and focus on the mindset issue before we move to the next step? Okay, so you guys that are like, next step, leave. And continue on with your life, whatever is going on. The problem with people is, can we agree that Crystal doesn't have a technical issue? Crystal has a mindset issue?
Yeah. Yes.
If you also have a mindset issue, then type the word mindset in the side chat. It is not a technical problem that you have. It is a mindset issue you have. Crystal, you agree with me, correct?
Yeah, totally agree.
And do you know why I brought you on here?
No, but I'm grateful.
I want you to answer that question this exact way. I want you to say, because you care about me. Crystal, do you know why I brought you on here?
Because you cared about me.
There you go. I
Well,
stopped.
I'm reading your book. I got your book, so.
Who cares about my book? Make some damn friends.
I'm trying. I'm okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
That's the answer to 99% of every single problem.
Right. I'll
Make
be more
some
persistent.
friends.
I'll be persistent. But if I get thrown out somewhere, I'm gonna say Pace told me to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're not posting, here's what I would do. I would post and go, guys, I just want to make friends. Reach out to me. And then make the post tomorrow. Then make the post tomorrow. Then make the post tomorrow.
Right.
Okay. There's your problem. If anybody ever asks you, what is your problem? What do you think the answer should always be, guys? It should always be me. I am my own problem.
Right.
And then you have to pause and say, what is my problem? Am I being persistent enough? Do I realize and understand that I have been a slave to whoever's told me what to do my whole life? Crystal, you probably have a 9-to-5 job, right? Or your husband does?
My husband does, but I was doing wholesaling, but in Philly, they made it where you had to have a certification, my friend said. So I stopped it for a couple of months.
That's $300 certification. Why didn't you just get the certificate? Man, Crystal, you got some mindset stuff going on.
I just got really paranoid about the whole thing. And then I started learning about seller financing. So I said, I'm just going to dive into that. And because we're moving to Florida in 4 months anyway.
I'm telling you, Crystal, no matter whether you choose wholesale, seller finance, sub 2, fix and flip, or anything else, you will fail without quality friends in this business.
I'm trying to get, even today, I did a master class and I did on her Facebook thing. I said, is it okay if I, write a message? And I wrote a message. I said, I'm looking for other females, like-minded women to connect. And nobody responded. So I didn't want to
women are really challenging, Crystal. I got 8 sisters. Okay. I grew up in a family of 8 girls. I know more about girls than most girls know about girls.
So you know how it can be.
Yeah. I wouldn't be going to all female groups, to be honest with you. I'm being just honest with you.
Right.
I watch all female groups. I speak in all female groups, and they tear each other down. They're very territorial.
That is true. That's very true. So if I wrote the same message 5 times, women would probably be like, who the heck is this crazy girl? So that's why
I already said that at the beginning. I was like, why are you in those Facebook groups? Why not go into my community? Why not go into my free Facebook group and let my students love on you?
I am in your Facebook group.
But Crystal, do you want me to go into my Facebook group right now and look up your name and see how many times you posted? And we can then have this conversation, because I will railroad you.
I haven't posted crazy amount of times, but I did post. Am I
right, Crystal?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, then don't defend yourself.
Okay.
Just say you're right, and we can release the conversation.
You're right.
Okay. Now, do I believe that there should be all women groups? Yes. I hope that somebody figures out how to make an all women's group not catty and tear each other down. But most of the time that I see them,
never gonna happen.
It's really hard. So
it is.
That's why I make an all inclusive thing, because we need all people. We need male, female, people that are binary, bipedal. We need people that are bipedal, have 2 legs. Some people that have 1 leg. We need them all.
Right. Okay? I would like to, have anybody here, who want to work together, to contact me, whatever.
Okay, Crystal, put your contact information in the side chat. Thank you. You're awesome. Okay. Did anybody think that I was only talking to her? Okay. Cliff Sunkel. Cool. Cliff, how you doing, man?
All right.
Great question. Really, really great question. I would say one of the top questions that people have is like, well, how do I bring value to anybody, right? Cliff, do you have like a couple of best friends?
Yeah, a little transitional right now. Trying to change friend groups.
Okay,
Well,
but you've had good friends, right?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously.
Did you just like give them money, give them opportunities, or did you guys just maybe have a great life where you laughed and had some burgers together, a couple of drinks, whatever, and you just had great camaraderie?
Yeah, when we were younger, more responsible.
Yeah, but was that not valuable to you to like grow up with people that you had some good laughs with, some good memories, et cetera?
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you think real estate investors don't want those same types of experiences?
No, I see how that could be a thing, but like, I guess one of my big concerns is I don't want to feel like I'm wasting someone's time because I don't have, deals. I don't have a lot of connections, all of that. And I know I'm not alone in that. Like, I know there are people like that, but
yeah, it's definitely a small mindset is what is there. And there's a lot of people have small mindsets, as we can all agree. I can tell you most of the people I like hanging out with are people that are genuinely interested in real estate. And the people that have learned a thing or two are happy to educate and teach and share what they know, et cetera. And they're like, why don't more people like come to RIAs and come ask me like some questions, or ask me like, hey, can I get 5 minutes of your time? Or, hey, can I, say thank you for what you do, or whatever it is. The value you provide to somebody can just be a great human connection at the very core of everything. And so I think a lot of times you're overthinking it. And Cliff, when was the last time you went to a physical meetup?
I've only been trying to get into this for less than a month now. I just got my LLC set up, and
okay,
over to the Dumbo Dials with Don and Mike.
So I would make sure you're going to physical meetups. That'd be a big one for me. Okay.
I only discovered how to even get into your Facebook group.
I got it. I'm just giving you advice. I got it. So I would make sure I get some physical meetups. And what you're going to do is you're going to find 5, 6, or 7 other newbies as well. And you're going to be okay to hang out with newbies as well, because they at least have the same conversations, the same curiosities as you. And you know what's kind of cool about having 5 or 6 newbies that are friends is that you guys are all basically crowdsourcing each other's questions and answers. So imagine you have 5 people asking 5 different sets of questions, aggregating all of those answers together. And then you guys get together on a Zoom once a week and you're like, hey, let's talk about what we did. What did we accomplish? What challenges you're running into, and what answers did you figure out? And who did you, there's a meetup going on. Oh, this is great. And you become a group of friends talking about things positive. In the very beginning, that's the only value that you can provide. And then within about, I'd say 3-4 months, the value that you can provide, even if you've never done a deal before, the value that you can provide to somebody is maybe an answer to a question that they're having when you first started, that you were like, oh, somebody goes, like, for example, somebody in here said, what is comping? Cliff, do you know what comping is?
Absolutely, I know what comping is.
Okay, so think about the people in here that you could posture up and help out, and you can be a giver to. You don't always have to be only collaborating with people that are the Pace Morbys of the world that are doing a deal a day. You could be collaborating with people that are just like, hey, I'm on the train you were on, Cliff, 30 days ago, and I'd love to get caught up to speed. I would start there in the very basic core level of just being a good human being, which you are. And I would focus on only that for the next 30 to probably 90 days.
So, I mean, that's, this might be a stupid question.
I can tell you right now, it's an overthinking question. It's not a stupid question. It's an overthinking question. It's going to be you overthinking something.
Well, I was going to ask what the best avatar for someone like I'm not great with cold calls, but I aggregate knowledge and I'm a sponge. And how could I best help project that onto people that?
Great question. That's
like it bridges the gap, question. I guess, right?
Well, let's talk about that. Let's get into the avatars. Let's get into, you guys ready for the next step?
Absolutely.
Cool. Thank you, Cliff. I appreciate you, brother. Let's get into the next one. Okay. So again, guys, what's your number one problem? Is it strategy? Is it technique? Or is it maybe your mindset and your lack of human connection with people that are also in the business community, right? Mindset and community. Those are the two most important things I focus on because those are the two things that you will always fail at. Okay. No matter what your technique is, how many Zooms you listen to, all the things you listen to of mine, and you're not sitting there actually becoming friends with each other, you're going to fail. That's it. Okay. Eugene says all of the above, still a work in progress. Me too. I'm still a work in progress. I'm just at a different level. It never ends. And so as long as you know it never ends, and you start looking at it as an everlasting video game, you go, man, this is just a video game. I get to play every single day. I'm so grateful for this. Okay. By the way, everybody knows about my book tour coming up, right? Because people are asking about meetups. You guys all know about the book tour coming up? Okay. Shit. I guess you guys don't follow me on Instagram. I get it. I haven't earned your follow yet, I guess. I get it. I will work harder to earn it. How about that? Okay, here is my travel schedule. And it is a book signing tour that I'm doing. I'm going to pull this up in just a second. You guys can see where I'm going, what I'm doing, etc. Okay, so I've got this week, I am speaking in Arizona. On Tuesday next week, I am doing Seattle, Washington. Then I'm going to LA. Then I have Tempe. Then I have Las Vegas, Nevada, Salt Lake, Denver, Colorado, Dallas, Houston. By the way, there's Eventbrite's here. So if you ask me where it's going to be, I'll karate chop you. Be resourceful. Click on the link. It all is all free. Okay. Atlanta, Georgia, North Carolina, Miami, Florida, and Kansas City. And some people are like, well, what Kansas City? I didn't know until today that there were 2 Kansas cities. Okay. Kansas City, Missouri. Awesome. I did not know that. Sounds stupid, but, you know, I don't know everything. I know some stuff, but I don't know everything. I know people are like, oh, Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. And I'm like, okay, so those are 2 different cities. But technically, it sounds like they're the same freaking city. You just have a state line between the 2 of them. Great. Got it. So if you guys are sitting here going, I want to make more friends, pace is right, I need more friends to hang out with, maybe a good place to start would be go to my book tour. They're free. You'll be able to meet a ton of my students that are doing a lot of deals, and you'll be able to connect with people and become friends with people and break out of your shell of basically having everybody else tell you what to do with your life. And you'll be able to come and hang out with us. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to avatars. Okay. So avatars, I'm fearful of telling you guys this because what happens is you guys are such like shiny object people. People that are brand new are very much shiny object. And so when I show them my full Miro board, they go crazy. They stop paying attention. Do you guys give me an emoji if you agree with that? You just stop paying attention. You just focus on whatever graphic I give you that you just go and focus on that only. Am I right about that? Isn't that kind of funny? It's like, I want to tell you the next step, but there's so many avatars in this that you won't even pay attention if I give you the graphic. Okay. I'll break it down without the graphic. I'll do it with my pen and paper so we can just keep it really, really simple. Okay. So the first avatar, okay, there are basically, you have to look at this as, are you going to go find the opportunities directly from the seller? Okay. So here's the seller. Every opportunity starts with the seller. Remember that. Write that down. Okay. Yes, I reorganized them. Every single seller starts with a property. That property could be land. It could be multifamily. It could be single family. Could be commercial. I know there's people in here that are engineers that just can't help but want to talk about commercial, and they want to talk about. It's always the engineer. Who's an engineer in here that just can't stop thinking about multifamily? You literally are an engineer for a living, and you just want to do multifamily. Where are you? Every time I meet an engineer, It's all you want to talk about. Multifamily. So excited about multifamily. Yet you've never done a deal before. So great. Okay, land, multifamily, single, commercial. This is RV parks. Doesn't matter what it is, right? Always starts with a property. There's always a property where every deal starts. Okay. All right. So everybody understands where a deal comes from, right? Give me a yes. Does this deal start with an agent? Does it start with a wholesaler? Does it start with, or does it always start with a seller? Always starts with a seller. Okay, great. Now, the next question you have to ask yourself is, how am I going to reach out to the seller? Okay, how is this seller going to sell their property? Okay, well, the sellers will typically sell in a couple of different ways. A, they're going to sell through an agent. Okay, and there's a lot of opportunity here. We can talk about this another day. B, they're going to sell through a wholesaler because the wholesaler lied to them. I'm a wholesaler too. I'm not criticizing, but wholesalers, you guys are lying, and you're telling the seller what? What do you tell? If you're a wholesaler, you're telling the seller what's the lie that you tell sellers? I'm a buyer. I'm a cash buyer. I'm the buyer. That's a lie. You're not, and that's okay. It's okay. I'm not. Is multifamily less risk? Anson, Rickard, no. Multifamily is way more risk. Way, way, way more risk. Okay, I will buy your home. One of these things is an iteration. They are not, okay, you are not telling them the truth. And I'm not upset about it. I also lie as well, okay? What do you tell them when you double close? Oh, when you double close, we tell them that we're the buyer. Anson, I say the same thing. I tell people all the time. I tell them, I say, I never tell a seller that I'm a wholesaler. I always say I'm a cash buyer, even when I'm wholesaling it. It's how the business works. I'm not criticizing. I'm not making fun of. I'm not like at all. It's not a bad thing. Okay. You on the same page there? See, like guys, see Max in the side chat. He says, you are a cash buyer, just maybe not for their house. Guys, we don't have to justify what we're telling people. Okay. You don't have to justify that. You don't have to go around your life justifying every little thing that comes out of your mouth and like navigating. It's like the other day, somebody told me, oh, I can't, that's a religious conversation. I won't get into that. Okay. But sellers don't care. Okay. At the end of the day, sellers don't care. What sellers care about is getting the house. Okay. The sellers care about getting their house sold. Okay. That's it. So how else can a seller sell a property? A seller can sell a property direct, right? Anybody else? Anything else that a seller can do to sell a house? Going through an agent? Kevin Hogan? Yolanda? Anything else? Knuckleheads? Anything else besides the three that I have listed? Anything else? No. Okay, hold on a second. For the people that are saying seller finance and sub 2, are those not going through a wholesaler, direct, or an agent? For sell by owner is direct. Anson, Rickard, sell it on their own is direct. Give me one that is not on the list. It's only these three. All of your guys' strategies, all of them, foreclosure, bank, guys, it's direct. Sellers losing their house to the bank, direct. That's it. It's either an agent, a wholesaler, or direct. That is it. There is no other, there's nothing else. 72 sold. Agent, real estate, guys, come on. Nope, not a probate sale. Reverse transaction, Max Howard. How does a reverse transaction work? Tell me that. Max, oh my word. You guys are digging deep on this one, huh? Max, what does reverse transaction mean? Max, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I guess Max doesn't want to talk. Okay, so do we all agree that there's no other way? Bruce, hey, Bruce, I think you and I need to have a conversation because Bruce is just throwing out like every strategy under the sun. And Bruce Dellinger, you have 2 devices. Bruce, what's up, man? Bruce.
What's up, Pace?
How is a novation agreement sold without any one of those 3 strategies on the thing or an executory contract?
I can't find an answer for you.
Okay, so we've already covered all 3 ways that the seller can sell a property, correct? So a sub 2 transaction goes through an agent, goes through a wholesaler, or goes directly to the end buyer, right?
Right.
Okay, what about novation? Goes through an agent, goes through a wholesaler, or goes through the direct, right?
Yep.
Any other strategy besides these 3?
No.
Okay. The answer is no. 0 zilch other ways a seller can sell a property. Now, I'm not saying what strategy they're selling on, cash or creative or anything else. Okay. Bruce is looking for strategies. I'm looking for a method or somebody that has to go and find the opportunity. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? Give me a yes in the comments. Okay. So now, why did I hammer that home so hard? I hammered that home so hard so that you can understand that there's no other way for you to get a deal without one of those 3 things happening. A seller selling through an agent. Okay, well, maybe knowing more agents would get me more deals. A seller selling through wholesalers. Oh, so maybe knowing more wholesalers would get me more deals. Or a seller selling direct, which would be foreclosure. They'd lose their house on foreclosure. But guess what? Now it's going through a bank and it's direct. Now you can go directly to the bank and you can buy directly an REO. Okay. Michelle Marion says, I'm stuck on the lying part of wholesaling. Okay. Michelle. Michelle, come on board and let's have a conversation.
Hey there.
Hi, where are you stuck?
I guess I'm just, if the goal is to help people, which then in turn helps ourselves, why would we lie to anyone? And maybe I'm just naive. I just don't get it.
You're naive. And now, are there wholesalers that don't lie? Yes, there's a lot of wholesalers that don't lie. Okay, but the reality is, Michelle, agents lie all the time. Okay.
Sure.
All the time. Like agents tell their sellers, I'll sell the house in 2 weeks. Or yeah, the house will sell for that price. And they know damn well it won't, but they're just desperate because they're competing with their competition. Michelle, I imagine you've never been in a heavy competitive market fighting for your ability to pay your bills against other business owners as you yourself as a business owner.
Fair.
Okay. So you don't know that environment necessarily to understand that every agent, and I'm not justifying it, and I'm not leading you down a path to go, and you go, oh, okay, so it's okay to lie. That's not what I'm trying to get to, okay? Are we on the same page there?
Sure.
I just want you to understand that you just by the mere question you're asking me, it tells me a lot of the environment that you are currently in. You must have a job that does not require you to pit yourself against competition to ultimately lie or massage the truth in order to land business contracts. Is that correct?
Yes and no. So 100%. However, I just left my 9 to 5 because they compromised. I felt like my character integrity were in question, and so that's not how I'm going to live.
Okay.
And so I left it to pursue this, which I've wanted to do for a very long time, and I feel like the doors have just opened, and now it's time. So I'm struggling with that part.
Okay, there's so many different ways to make money in real estate that maybe being a wholesaler is not the way for you, but I'm going to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Wholesalers lie.
Gotcha.
Real estate agents lie. And can I tell you the truth too about me? I also lie very frequently to whoever I'm buying deals from, whoever I'm selling deals to. I lie all the time. I'll give you a good example. Okay. Somebody brings me a deal. This happened a couple of weeks ago. You can see it on my YouTube channel. And they go, hey, I got a deal and I need a $20,000 assignment fee for this deal. And I go, man, if you can bring this down to $10,000, I got 7 other deals I'm looking at today. I could turn the other 6 away if you could bring your you could bring it down to $10,000. Otherwise, I'm going to go with the other one of the other 6 options. Okay, that's called negotiating.
Right.
Which is another word of lying. Okay, I lied. I didn't have 6 other deals I was looking at. And even if I did have 6 other deals, maybe I'll buy all 6. But I'm not going to tell the truth, because if I go, hey, you know what? You're just asking too much money. And you just want way too much money. One, it leaves you know what's funny about lying and negotiating is it actually leaves both parties in a happier place than if I told the truth.
When you put it into that perspective, like negotiating and, kind of painting your picture as you have more of an upper hand or whatever, then I get it. And that's not the context that I took it in. So
that makes sense.
That's where I was kind of stuck.
Here's where wholesalers lie. Okay. This is where wholesalers flat out lie to sellers. They say that I'm a cash buyer. Why do they say that? Wholesalers are not cash buyers. Okay. They don't actually buy real estate. They get sellers under a contract and then they sell that contract. Right.
Right.
So, but if they told the seller that I'm not a cash buyer, I'm basically going to up yours $10,000, $15,000. Is the seller going to allow that wholesaler to solve whatever the seller's problem is?
No.
No. And so does it actually behoove the seller or the wholesaler to tell the truth in that situation?
No.
No. And I can tell you also, so this is something else, Michelle, as a wholesaler, I'm not buying houses from people that are in really great situations.
Sure.
That is not the business of wholesaling. A lot of people go, oh my gosh, these people, I'm like, dude, these people are in foreclosure. They're going through divorces. They're going through bad situations. They need somebody to come in and help them. And the last thing you should be talking about is whether you are the one that's actually going to buy the house or not. It really is a non-issue, to be honest.
Right. It's a moot point. I get it. That's fair.
Yeah. So, and then, but here's the thing is there's a lot of different ways to be successful in real estate. I'm actually going to go through 22 of them, and only 5 of them really require you to have to kind of fib a little bit, if that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Well, again, painting the picture differently, as in, and I can call it that. And, we can say it's lying. We can say it's not, I get it. I understand.
I call it lying.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm with you. It doesn't make it any different, but
it makes it,
when you said that, I kind of got hung up on that. Like, what do you mean? Like, where am I not being honest? Because I want to help people as well as be successful, and I want to do it honestly.
Yeah, I get it.
So
think about this. Have you ever seen a billboard of a hamburger and it's like the most beautiful hamburger, and then you go into the spot and it's like anything but what was on the billboard?
Sure.
Is that not a form of lying as well?
It is. I get it. I pick up what you're putting down. I understand.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that, and that there's nothing really wrong about that. You want to strive to be as, you know, transparent as possible. But here's the thing too, is like, when I'm in a seller appointment, I actually don't say a lot. I actually ask a lot more questions. And so it's not like I'm sitting there going, just so you know, I'm a cash buyer, I'm a cash buyer, I'm a cash buyer, I'm a cash
Sure.
buyer. A lot of times that doesn't even come up.
People want to be heard. Yes.
Yeah. And I just tell people, I go, I'm an investor. Okay. But when you say you're a cash buyer, it is not true. And so I tell people, look, just tell them you're an investor because you invested in leads. You invested
Right.
in your education, you invested in yourself, and you are an investor. You invested in a business to wholesale. So I just tell people I'm an investor. Okay.
110%. Yes.
Yeah. So you can just change the wording to kind of make sense. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you will find that as you get into the business, that people will lie about their contracts with the seller in order to get one over on you. And it's the same thing with McDonald's and Burger King. They're both pitting against and lying about each other. Like, oh, they don't do this. And we use all beef patties. And it's like, really, dude, those were
Sure.
frozen for 7 months in a freaking truck, you know?
Right.
So-
And I'm in the position now where I'm looking for financing, and then there are various lenders that are actually brokers that are like, yeah, you know, we can help you with this. And then it turns out like they can't because they're having to go find the money. They actually aren't asset-based lenders because they don't have the money, direct
Yeah, they're
money.
brokers. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What
so I
are
get it.
you, Michelle, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to buy and hold? Are you trying to fix and flip? Are you trying to wholesale? What do you want to do?
So at the moment, I'm trying to buy and hold. I have a property in North Carolina that we bought in 2019, proceeds from a flip that we did.
Okay.
And now on paper, I'm not an experienced, I'm not experienced. And so now we're having a hard time with financing, and we own the property free and clear. So then there's that piece. So so we're trying to get the money for the renovation, and you're not experienced. Okay, well then you have to jump through these hoops, and
If you're not
you know,
experienced, if you're not experienced, you can always JV with somebody who has experience and they'll get you qualified. I do that for people. In fact, I did it for Angie Milanazzo in here just a couple of weeks ago. You'll get lenders that turn you down. You just need to get somebody to back you up. JV, joint venture.
do you
right?
want to back me up?
You're not one of my students. I wouldn't do it. I only, as of January 1st, I only sponsor students loans,
Understood.
but I have a lot of students that would do it for you.
You know what, you guys did tag, you know, I posted in your group a couple of times, and you tagged some different people. And unfortunately, like I did have a couple conversations, and they said they'd call me back, and I haven't heard back. And you know, maybe they think it's too risky. I don't really know because I didn't have any further conversation. But yeah, I understand.
Yeah, you just got to keep trying, and you're doing a good job. So
Thank you.
are you? So if you're trying to wholesale, just use the word investor. You'll be fine.
Got it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
So-
you.
So remember, guys, there's all of these opportunities that you're ever going to look at. Even Michelle wants to fix and flip. Okay. Michelle wants to fix and flip. Is she going to be able to go and fix and flip without going through an agent, a wholesaler, or directly to the seller herself? Think about that. How? Ava Boyd says, yes. How? Ava, how? How is she going to be, if she wants to fix and flip, right? Or buy and hold? Ava, tell me, what strategy am I missing?
I would expect that she would, why can't she refinance, and she owns the property already? I assume there's some equity in it. Why can't she?
No. If she wants to go and fix and flip, like we're talking about new projects, she wants to go do a new project.
Okay.
Right. She's not the project she has in 2019 that's paid off. She doesn't want to sell that house. So forget about that house. If you want to go get an opportunity tomorrow, Ava, are you going to be able to do it without a real estate agent or a wholesaler or going directly to the seller yourself? Are you going to be able to do that?
I don't know that answer.
Did you miss the last 30 minutes of me yelling?
I didn't know. I heard her yelling. I didn't get that answer out of your yelling. My apologies.
Do you remember it? Did you see this on my screen?
I did.
Okay, so what are the 3 ways that I can get a deal?
I got it. Agent, wholesaler, direct. I've seen your other trainings, and yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay,
But
so is
I
there,
thought, why can't you just take some of the equity out of the property and use part of it to fix up the property and then flip it?
I mean, she could, but
Okay,
that's not what we're talking about.
that's not what your
How
question
did
is.
she
Okay.
get that house?
I don't know how she got it.
Well, it only comes down to one of 3 things. She either got it from an agent, a wholesaler, or directly from the seller herself.
Or it was an inheritance. I'm not sure.
But where did that come from?
I got it. Okay.
Directly from the seller. The person who owned it gave it to the person who got it. You have that. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Okay.
And when you guys keep saying like, I'm having a hard time understanding this business, these are these little minute things that might seem like, Pace, why are you belaboring this? Why are you continually going over this? Okay. It's because I'm trying to dumb this down to a level where you go, I want to get a deal tomorrow. I want to get a deal tomorrow. Great. Are you going to be able to do that without an agent, a wholesaler, or directly going to the seller yourself? Are you ever going to be able to physically do that?
Probably not. No.
It's not probably not. There's 1 or 2 answers.
No, I will not be able to do it without the
It
3 of
is physically impossible for you.
I got it. Thank you.
It is impossible. So have we broken this down enough?
Yes. Thank
Do you
you
want
for
to what do you want to do, Ava? Do you want to wholesale? Do you want to fix and flip? Or do you want to buy and hold?
I want to buy and hold.
Okay, so the next deal you do, you want to buy and hold, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you either got to go to an agent, you got to go to a wholesaler, or you got to call the seller directly yourself. Those are your 3 options.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Okay, is that helpful for anybody?
It was helpful for me.
Okay.
Yes.
So people are sitting here going, but where do I get my next deal? Well, we're going to talk about that. Okay.
Thank you.
So it all starts with a seller. Okay. So even if you find a house on Zillow, guess what? It's coming from one of those 3 things. It's either coming from an agent. It's definitely not going to come from a wholesaler on Zillow because wholesalers don't list stuff on Zillow, but it's going to come from either an agent or maybe the seller listed it on Zillow themselves as a FSBO, and you got to call the seller directly, right? Geraldo says you can buy it at auction if you have the cash. Direct, again, my brother. Geraldo, it is direct. Who is the owner of that house at that point, Geraldo? People still do not get this. Geraldo, my friend, how is it that you do not think that the bank is one of those 3 things? Geraldo.
I'm sorry, Pace. I was just kidding.
Oh, it is direct. So the owner of, if you buy it from the bank through a foreclosure, who is the owner? Or an REO property, real estate owned. So what
The
happens
county?
if, no, the
If it's a
bank,
tax
the
foreclosure?
county never owns the house.
Correct. That's true.
Okay. So we're all on the same page. Ava, we on the same page?
Absolutely.
I was
Thank
thinking
you.
overflow properties.
What's that?
I was thinking overflow properties after they go to the tax auction, they lose it. The seller loses it, then it goes to the overflows county.
But guess who still owns the property?
The seller could still redeem it, depending on the state too.
Okay. It's all the same answer.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Got it?
Got
So
it.
you're making one of 3 phone calls. That's it. Okay. Number 1, you make a call to an agent who's representing the seller. Number 2, you call a wholesaler and you go, hey, I saw this deal on your website. Can I buy it? Or 3, you call the person who currently owns it directly yourself. Those are your 3 options. Could it be maybe the bank owns it directly because they foreclosed on the seller and now the bank owns it directly and you got to call them or reach out to their website?
Then you go to the agent that's going to list it.
There is no agent in that situation. unless it's an REO, right? Real estate owned by the bank. And now there's an agent that maybe represents it. But if you go to the foreclosure and the bank is foreclosing and they're taking the house back and then they're willing to sell it to you at a discounted price, isn't that going directly to the seller of the property?
Yes.
Okay, so there's no, guys, there's 1,500 people in here. We all on the same page? Is there any other way to get a deal besides those three ways? Geraldo, any other thing you're going to try and stump me with?
Android's better than iPhone.
Is it really?
It depends on the model.
Did you mean to say cheaper?
Maybe.
Okay. Geraldo, thank you for the comments. Appreciate it. Okay, so Ava, those are the only ways to get a deal. Okay, so if you're like, hey, I want to buy and hold, tomorrow, now we have a different conversation, right? Now we have the next level, the next step, okay? And we'll get into that now. All right, so we already know, okay? We already know that there are only three ways that this can happen. I'm either going to go to an agent, I'm going to go to a wholesaler, or I'm going to go direct. Are we ready for the next level? Are we all on the same page? Give me a yes. Okay. Anybody in here brand new, say thank you, or type in the word patience. If you're brand new and this is good for you and you're appreciating this, this is why I did this elephant challenge this way. Okay. Okay, so all you advanced people in here, I have already had 300 people leave, and I'm so glad that they left. Because they don't have patience. This is why I dominate at this game. I have the patience. Leave. Go away. I'm trying to teach people to slowly get into this business, okay? All right, cool. So here are my choices. Okay, one of these three things is going to happen. I'm either going to reach out to the agent, their wholesaler, or directly there. So here are the first couple of avatars. Okay, avatar number one, we call this direct to seller. And direct to seller means you are going to spend money or spend time reaching out to the seller directly. You are not going to go to a wholesaler and you are not going to go to an agent. You are literally going, I'm going to go direct to the seller. Okay. What are some ways you can go direct to seller? Maybe cold call. Okay. A lot of people do not like cold call. You can text. Okay. We use startvirtual.com for this. We use batchleads.io for this. Okay, you could also do billboards. Anybody doing billboards? I did billboards for 2 years. Okay, you could do direct mail. Direct mail is just literally directly mailing them to their house. Okay, so this could be postcards or letters or some other iteration of that. Okay, you can door knock. By the way, don't tell me driving for deals, because driving for deals, wouldn't you technically have to go cold call, text them, or door knock them to talk to them? Driving for deals is not a way to reach out to sellers directly. Okay? Driving for deals is either cold calling, texting, door knocking, or sometimes people send out mailers. Okay? Now, guys, I will get into the software on day 3. We're not there yet. Okay, you can go to pay-per-click, okay, where you literally pay per click. You go on Facebook ads or Google ads or one of those things, and you can spend money. Okay, you can do bandit signs, which they work, but they're not really scalable. Yeah, Terry Ty. Pay per click. I just explained this. I don't know why, I got to realize that it's just really interesting that people don't know what pay per click is. And I got to remind myself why they don't know is that they're not in this business. Terry, how you doing, man?
Hey, Pace, you hear me?
I can hear you. What company do you work for?
No, I'm brand new. No, I wrote it down because my feed.
No, I understand. But what company do you work for to make your bills?
What company?
Yeah. You have a job?
Yeah, I'm a teacher.
Okay, you're a teacher. Awesome. Okay, so your teacher, your school that you teach for, do you know that they go and spend money to recruit people to come work for them, right?
Yeah.
So think about this: if they go on like Indeed or they go on other places to, like, where would a teacher go find a job?
Open market.
Okay, cool. Is that a website?
I think so.
Okay, cool. So let's just say that there's a website where schools go to apply for a job, right?
Mhm.
So your school will go on there and boost their post by spending money on that post to basically become a sponsored ad on that website, right?
Mhm.
So every time a teacher clicks on that ad, your school pays per click. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And can I
So-
explain? Can I
So
explain?
when let's say I go on Facebook Marketplace or I go on Craigslist or I go to other places, I can tell people, hey, do you want to sell your house cash? And I can pay for Facebook ads, Google ads. I can pay for all sorts of ads on the internet. And every time a seller clicks on it to call me, I have to pay a fee, which is called pay per click.
Mhm. Yeah,
Other question?
I understand this 100% completely, but I was just telling you my feed on my live stream feed, it's a little bit delayed from yours. So before you even say pay per click, I put down pay per click, like asking, is that one of the ways? Because I know what pay per click is.
Oh, got it. Well,
So I was just asking, is that one of the ways? Not because I asked, what is it? That's
makes
what.
sense. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
And thank you for really. This is my first time talking to you when my brother told me to be in your mentorship. So it's an honor to talk to you right now.
Cool, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay. Guys, is that helpful for some people who didn't know what pay-per-click was? I know that there's always like probably 20 or 30 people that are like, you had no idea. Okay. All right. So the direct to seller, right? Direct to seller. Cold call, text, billboards, direct postcards, pay-per-click, door knock, bandit signs. What else? What's another one? Radio. Okay. Some people do TV. No, title companies. Hey guys, does a title company call the seller for you? No. How do I directly communicate with the seller is what we're asking. Nope, not a realtor, Teresa. That's a different strategy. Okay. There you go. Skip. Nope. Skip. Same thing. Skip tracing, guys, is a form. Wow. I'm like, my level of patience has to be upgraded right now. The fact that we even said the word skip tracing as a form of communicating with the seller. How can skip tracing get me to talk to the seller? Jay says, what is skip tracing? Skip tracing is finding a seller's house that's in distress and you don't have their phone number, right? You go to websites that give you their phone number and they cost per phone number. Okay. So guys, if you know that skip tracing is not going to actually pick up the phone for you, is skip tracing going to pick up the phone for you? Okay, so why would we suggest skip tracing as a way to communicate with the seller? Okay, virtual assistant is going to cold call, right? Guys, dumb it down to how it actually communicates with the seller. A virtual assistant could either text or cold call. We don't need to say virtual assistant because we already said text or cold call. Does that make sense? Okay, these are the reasons why you guys are struggling to get into real estate is because you don't understand the basics of how you actually, okay, referrals is not how you talk to sellers, Eric. That is a lead source, and that is also not direct to seller. Cool. Fernando says, can I see the whiteboard again? Yeah, there you go. Cold call, text, billboards, direct mail, postcards, pay-per-click, door knock, bandit signs. Any of these that are any more that are actually efficient. Don't give me any BS ones. Give me some that are actually efficient. Are there any other efficient ones? All right, that's it. Ringless voicemail is not efficient at all. Nobody gets deals from social media, by the way. Attorneys are not direct to seller. Okay. Voice broadcasting, that'd be called radio. Meeting in person would be door knocking. TV ads are already on the screen. Networking, nobody gets deals directly from sellers by networking. I'll tell you that right now. Listen to me. You will never get a deal from a seller by using social media, ever. Unless you get to like a level where I'm at, where maybe once every 2 months, a seller reaches out to me because of my brand. But that's so impossible. Like, it's so basically impossible. Okay. Don't use social media to get real estate deals unless you're doing JV, joint venture deals. Cold calling and texting is the number one and number two. That's it. Cold calling and texting. Great question. England Curry says, which strategy has given you the most success? Cold calling and texting. Will I ever do cold calling myself? The answer is no. I will never, ever, 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 ever in my life waste my time on cold calling. I will hire that out. So direct to seller is an avatar. Okay. It's an avatar. Who in here thinks that direct to seller is the right avatar for you? Karma says, who do you use for cold calling? Startvirtual.com. We use a company called startvirtual.com. Okay. Do we all know that when you are doing direct to seller, you are spending money? Give me a yes. You are spending money on direct to seller. But why do we like direct to seller? I like direct to seller because it is controllable, it's scalable. The numbers make sense. Like, here's what happens. Okay, let's break this down. If I'm cold calling, okay, I already know that if I have one acquisition guy or me, let's just say it's me, and I have one VA, I know that one VA will get me between 2 to 3 deals per month. Okay, so if I have a VA doing 2 to 3 deals a month, obviously I'm the one negotiating them. The VA just sets it. The virtual assistant is what it's called, the VA, okay? Hey, Carly, will you remove John Fernandez? He just keeps posting the same thing over and over and over. Will you just remove him, please? Guys, if you see people spamming the side chat, just please make a comment to Carly and she'll remove them, okay? Teresa Schwab, they work full-time. The VAs work full-time. We use a company called startvirtual.com. However, this costs money. If you want to generate leads, I can tell you right now, you will be overwhelmed with leads immediately. Did you pay people to cold call in the beginning? Yes, Luis. I'm going to tell you right now. Luis, let's have a little conversation. I'm going to answer this for you right now. And you guys, Luis Lopez, I think it was. Or maybe it's Luis Rivera. Oh, it's Luis Rivera. What's up, bro? How you doing? You there? Luis.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Luis, the reason why I'm doing this avatar training, okay, is because I want you guys to know that I think cold calling is a waste of your time. I think I've never met an American person. Saul Nunez says, how much does it get a VA? A full-time virtual assistant is going to be like $1,100 a month. Okay. Full-time.
Wow.
I hate cold calling, but I do way more deals than any wholesaler I've ever met. Way more deals. And I cold called myself personally. I downloaded something. I won't even say the name of it because somebody will be like, wait, what was the name of that? I downloaded software to do cold calling, and I would like be the one doing it. I did it for 2 hours. I was like, F this. If I have to do this, there's no way I'm doing this. So I just hired virtual assistants. There's no way I'm cold calling myself. Now, I've got friends of mine. Okay. I've got friends of mine that are like, cold call, just cold call yourself. If you guys want to learn how to cold call, go to somebody else's YouTube channel, go to somebody else's world. I don't want to ever cold call in my life. Sonny, yes, you give the virtual assistant the list. Start Virtual trains the virtual assistant for you. Okay. It's basically about $1,000 to $1,500 a month. Okay. So Sip Rodriguez says, I only make $2,000 a month. So a VA is out of the question. Obviously. So that's not your avatar. I've got 20 other avatars to go through. Jennifer McCauley says, where do they get the list? Jennifer, I give them the list. Okay. If you guys want to see how we built a business from scratch, a virtual assistant, Gavin, this is great. Thank you, Luis. Is a virtual assistant, man, I could literally go do 20 hours of training on one of these topics. A virtual assistant is a real person. They are typically in the Philippines. Start Virtual uses some people in the Philippines. You give them the list, okay? How many all can they usually do in a day? Nanny, do you really care? Or do you just really care that they can really produce basically 150 leads a month, which generate like 2 or 3 deals a month? You guys are asking way too intricate questions. Okay. Can you do a video in depth on each avatar? I've already done that, Eduardo. You've skipped all of it and you've come here. I'm just giving you live training today. Okay. Cold calling is a great way to learn how to talk to people. Pace doesn't have this problem. Yeah, so was going to high school and elementary school. If you don't know how to say hello to people, then just go get a job and keep a job. You do not need to learn how to cold call to talk. You don't need to cold call to learn how to talk to people. That's dumb. The reality is I love talking to sellers who are actually interested in selling to me. I don't enjoy being hung up on all day and wasting my time, right? Gina says, what is the best way to have trained VAs to cold call your prospects and leads? Well, first off, they're not cold calling. Let's see, Gina. Pashki. Gina, how you doing?
Amazing, Pace. How are you?
I'm great. So they're not calling prospects and leads. They're calling people that we call suspects. They're not even prospects at this point. I'm sure you already know that.
Okay. So for example, if I pull a list
like
in
let's
a
say
primary
foreclosure.
market like mine,
Right.
and I give it to a VA through Start Virtual, how am I going to properly train that VA to
Start Virtual
make
already
those
trained.
calls?
Start Virtual already trains the VA.
Okay.
This is why you don't go to like Upwork and you pay like $3 an hour to a virtual assistant. Has anybody ever hired a virtual assistant in here and found out that they were stealing from you the whole entire time? See, look in the side chat. A lot of people say yes. So you go to a company called Start Virtual. Is the reason why we use them is because you get a customer success manager dedicated to you, Gina.
Amazing.
And your VA is already vetted and trained, has already done cold calling, and your customer success manager will help you set up your CRM, show you how to pull a list, get you set up, do all the things with you. And then what they'll do is they'll get the VA cold calling, and the VA will set up appointments for you to talk to people who are actually interested in selling their house.
Very amazing. I have just one quick thing. What is some feedback that you would give for a person like me that isn't quite there to hire a VA, but has put in place and implemented a lot of things?
I would
in the
wait. I would
past?
wait to listen to all the other avatars.
Okay. I
'Cause
appreciate that very much.
I'm on Avatar 1. There's 20 others.
I appreciate your time.
And a lot of them don't cost any money.
It's a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
No problem, Gina. Yeah, a lot of them don't cost any money. The challenge with the biggest benefit with direct to seller, Gina, is that you have control of how much leads come to you, and you can turn it on and turn it off whenever you want. However, our next avatar is called direct to agent. Okay.
Right.
If I'm
I've
reaching
stepped
out,
into that as well.
okay, so if I'm talking to agents, I'm now basing my business on somebody else's business and how
Correct.
they're working and how consistent they are. And that's essentially what I'm doing, right? I'm no longer in control of my lead flow 100%. Now I could reach out to every agent and be super proactive and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, most agents, let's be real. Gina, where do you live?
Michigan.
Okay. I don't know how many people are in Michigan that are licensed, but in Maricopa County where I live, there's 60,000 real estate agents that are licensed just in my county. Okay. Only 15,000 transactions are done on a monthly basis. So that means if those 15,000 transactions went to one agent individually, that means there's 45,000 licensed agents that did not do a deal that month. But the reality is a lot of the agents that are in the top 5% are actually doing 2 and 3 deals a month. So it's closer to like 50 to 52,000 of our agents are not active and they are starving as agents. So I look at direct to agent and I'm like, am I going to build my business entirely off of another real estate agent? And for me, that's not my favorite strategy. Jamil likes it because I think what Jamil likes about it is that he doesn't have to negotiate with sellers directly. I prefer to negotiate with sellers directly.
Yes, I can relate to that.
Okay. I'd rather just chat with people about their problems, be able to solve their problem. And if buying real estate at a discount is all about solving a seller's problem, how can I do that when there's an agent in between us that doesn't actually want me to discuss or chat with the seller?
Right.
So again, this is kind of the double-edged sword of direct to seller, which is avatar number 1. Do you want to have full control? Yes. Do you want to spend a lot of money right now? No.
Not
So
just yet, no.
if you're brand new, I would suggest waiting for the other avatars.
I'm not 100% brand new. I've, I have a CRM set and a couple things, and some individual that I've spoken to create a
But
team.
have you produced?
I have
income?
not produced. I have not produced fully on my own. No.
Okay, so that is what I mean by brand new. If you
I
haven't
appreciate
produced,
it.
if you haven't produced income, I would not go and suggest unless you have an abundance of budget. Right? Like I have some students that make $300,000 a year and work 20 hours a week at their like software programming jobs.
Yeah.
They have no problem with a budget. Right? I have other students that are like, dude, I'm a college student. I have no money. And I'm like, do not do direct to seller because it'll wipe your butt. You will not only be not eating ramen, you will be eating nothing. So you have to make a determination. And the reason why I'm going through this and chatting with you, Gina, is to help you guys have permission to know which way to go. So for you, Gina, I would say direct to seller is not the way to go right now.
Okay.
I would say, I think direct to seller is the only way to scale a real estate, like a discount real estate business in a big way. But you kind of have to know your goals. So let me ask you a couple of goals. Guys, pay attention because I'm actually asking all of you guys the same question. As I ask Gina these questions, you guys need to answer them in the side chat, okay? Gina, what is your ultimate goal? Is it to just be like, I have 20 houses, they're cash flowing, and I'm chilling on a farm somewhere in, the Midwest? Or do you
That sounds ideal, but no.
Okay. Or do you prefer to have like 30 employees and a couple of different businesses and you're managing all of them?
Yeah, so my initial clear goal right now with the creative side of real estate is to create a team that's like-minded and be a little bit more present in my location with actually attending events.
Okay,
and
cool.
collaborating and networking with people.
You want a team of deal finders that you guys all collaborate and work together, like-minded, and you essentially will wholesale some of these deals, fix and flip some of these deals, and buy and hold some of these deals as well. Is that correct?
Correct.
Awesome. Okay, so at some point, okay, because I have some students, like I have a student named Elena Tang. She's been in my mentorship for a year and 4 months, something like that. And she's bought, I think she's bought minimum 20 houses last time I checked, and she might be closer to 25 houses now in a year and 4 months. Okay. She doesn't have cold callers. She doesn't have a team. She doesn't have transaction coordinators. She doesn't have any of that kind of stuff. She is a different avatar, right? And she goes, I just want to focus on passive income and build that for like 3 or 4 years, let my husband keep his day job as an architect. And at some point, as our passive income outgrows his job, then I can have him come join our company full time. That's a whole strategy different than my strategy. I'm like, how do I have 1,000 employees and all sorts of big things? And so I'm going a different path. Yours is kind of a hybrid between the two. You're like, I like what Pace is doing. He has a team, he has employees that buy his time freedom, but they also bring in a conveyor belt of deals that he gets to pick and choose from. I think that's the route I want to go. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Cool. Then what I would do is I would start out with one of the other avatars. Maybe I would start out, you've already started out with one of my favorite avatars, which is working for someone else as one of the avatars.
Mhm.
I think that's one of the best strategies ever. But people don't like it because you're an entrepreneur at heart and you're like, I don't want to
sure.
work for somebody else. I want to work for myself.
Exactly.
Right. So you've got a lot of hard work to put in. Like T Hodges says, I want a business that runs without me to have passive income. Ultimate goal is to own apartments and multis. How much time? Let me ask you a question. T Hodges, how much time do you think that would take you to sufficiently get to a point where you have enough passive income and a team that does not need you on a daily basis?
Are you asking me or T Hodges that question?
Both.
I would honestly probably say if it's 100% persistent from now in 5 years.
I think, wow, what a great answer. I think it's 3 years. If you're really consistent and you do everything I tell people, everything I tell you to do, it's 3 years. If you take some breaks, you have some bad partnerships in there, which you will have in your lifetime. You have bad partnerships that derail you and you have some bad things happen to you. I think it's 5, maybe 6 years.
Thank you, Pace, so much.
You're welcome. The challenge is a lot of people that are getting into the business, Gina, are like, oh, I'm going to be financially free in 6 months. And then it's like, wait, you got people going to become architects for 6 years to make 150 grand a year and accumulate $300,000 in student debt. And then you got doctors going for 12 to 16 years to make $500,000 a year, but they walk out with $2 million in student debt. Yet people jumping in real estate want to do this with no license, no education, and be financially free in 6 months.
Right.
So 3 years, if you do everything, for me, it took me 7 years. But I didn't have a pace. There was no, is there a pace out there that's doing 1,500 person Zooms for free and just breaking this stuff down right now?
Absolutely not.
Doesn't exist. It didn't happen. It didn't exist when I was doing it. Everybody was a piece of shit to me. They were like, no, I don't want to take you on an appointment. No, you can't do this. Stay my contractor. Keep flipping my houses for me. That was the environment I was in. And so my 7 years included all of that. I feel like having a great community, people that want to collaborate with you, a lot of free knowledge and just consistent campfire effect. I think that people should be able to reach financial freedom. Doesn't mean you're incredibly wealthy. It just means you're financially free. I think 36 months is a reasonable goal. So the question.
Thank you for all that feedback so much.
Of course. Thank you, Gina. You're awesome. So here's another question too. Okay. A lot of people will say, well, what's your financial independence? Guys, there's no way I'm living on 20 grand a month, right? Like I live on way more money than that. My house payment, the things that the cars, the travel, all this stuff. Like Anson Rickard is like, what? Oh, bro. Really? You ain't live. You're not living your fullest life until you're making 20 grand a month. Yeah. Cassandra Olson says 20K a month is the new 5K a month. Okay. Do you know what 20K a month would do for me? Yeah, you're a young kid living at your parents' house. Of course, it'd probably get you Zamarian. You'd probably get you a place to live on your house on your own. The reality is at 20 grand a month, you don't really make 20 grand a month, right? If you guys are making 20 grand a month, you're really only taking home like maybe 15 grand. Terry Ty says, I'm living on 1K a month and I'm 33. Guys, do not brag about living on a budget. Okay. Anson Rickard says, do you fly private when you travel? Sometimes, but I fly first class primarily. Startvirtual.com. Okay. Don't brag to me about how cheap you live. You live one time, guys. You want to live your life on a budget? Not me. I can guarantee you on my deathbed, I will not be saying, but you know what? I hit my budget every month. It ain't something to be proud of to be living on a budget. Okay. It means you need to obtain more skills and make more money. That's it. Okay. I was with Ken McElroy last night talking about his jet, and he's got me motivated for a bunch of cool stuff. Okay. What time will you reach 20K a month? Oscar, what time will it take to reach if you're working intelligently hard? Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, if you're wholesaling, guys, this is really not that hard. Y'all make this way too difficult. Okay. Well, let me change something up fast. My team changed this up, and it's kind of funny how they do this. Cam 2. No, I don't want that. Hold on a sec, guys. Okay, camera 5, camera 1. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's pretty simple. Reverse engineer it. Okay. The average property that I own, single family home, cash flows $500 a month its first 36 months. Okay. And after that, okay, so think about this. I buy a property, and that property has it brings in $2,000 of rent. And I'm going to do simple math. I know people are like, well, what about vacancy and repairs? Guys, please just make my life easy today. Okay. So let's say that I have a payment every month of $1,500. All my utilities, expense, everything is all included at $1,500. I bring in $2,000 from my tenant. I make $500 a month. Guess what happens at the end of 36 months? I raise the rent $250. So all of a sudden now I'm making $750. Guess what? 36 months later, I raise the rent another $250. And now I'm making $1,000 a month. Okay. That's the beautiful thing about owning real estate is it is actually a hedge against inflation. Okay. So if the average property is cash flowing me $500 a month, okay, and you're saying, well, I want to make 20 grand a month. Okay. Well, you need 40 houses in 36 months. Okay. Pretty simple. That's 20K a month net. That's after all expenses, everything. However, after that, 40 houses times $250, that's pretty great. You just added another $8,000 in additional cash flow because you waited and you raised your rent. So now you wait another 36 months. Okay. And you get another 8,000. So within, let's say 6 years, within 6 years, those 40 houses will cash flow you about $36,000 per month. Okay. So just reverse engineer. It's pretty basic. Okay. Does that make sense? Give me a yes if that makes sense. Okay. Now, I don't know anything that actually has passive income. besides real estate. You know, Bitcoin and all this other crap people do, e-com, it's all trash. Okay, so each rental is about $500. That's average, right? Between sober living, between regular rental, Section 8, you know, pad split, like all the different strategies, I basically average $500 per rental. Okay. Now, if I want to do fix and flip on top of that, my average fix and flip makes about $25,000 each fix and flip. That's net, net, net. Do some of my flips make 100,000? Yes. Do some of my flips make 10,000 because something went wrong? Yes. Okay. Karma sent, yes. Gator lending $20,000 is very possible. Okay. So fix and flow. Gavin Kircher says, do you fix and flow? That, are you talking about the Burr strategy? Sean Marie Carmona says, I'm a little nervous to do my first buy and hold. What if it doesn't rent out? Guess what, Sean Marie? It's not renting out right now because you don't own it. So what would you rather have? The problem of not owning a house that doesn't actually have a problem, or the problem of having a house that does have a problem? I would rather own one. I'd rather actually be able to learn how to solve that problem. Okay. Instead of constantly putting fake things in your brain as to why you're going to fail. Anthony Frazier, we are not talking about private money lenders today. Okay. Why not find your renter first? That's not a thing. Okay. Finding your renter before you have a house is not a thing. Sorry. Anthony Frazier. Let me show you something. Anthony Frazier, he says sad. Okay. Watch this, Anthony. Just watch. If you're so excited about private money, let me show you something. Go to Pace Morby YouTube. Just click on here. By the way, you can go in here and you can type in, let's go Pace Morby. You want to learn about what Gator is? Pace Morby Gator. Well, guess what? Look at all these Gator things I have. People, Pace Morby Gator method costs. People are so funny, dude. Look, bunch of free Gator training right here. Go watch that. You'll get a bunch of Gator training. What about Pace Morby private lenders? Oh, damn. Okay. Raising private capital. Check this out. 3 hours and 49 minutes, all about raising private capital. In fact, check this out. I actually did this like cool little screen share thing where I showed you guys what each different type of private money lender is and what they look like. Okay. Angie Milanazzo. Yes, I was your private money lender on a deal. So guys, if you can't wait, just go look on my YouTube channel. Okay. I'll give you basic level stuff and then you can go ask my students for the rest. Okay. Okay. So, check it out. So if I'm doing rentals, I want 20K a month. We already did that. $25,000. Think about this. Like I could only do 4 flips in a year. Do you guys feel like doing 4 flips in a year is totally doable for you? Okay. Well, how much is that? That's 100K a year. Well, now guess what you just did? You just took your entire need of 40 houses, okay, for that 20K down to like basically 20 houses, okay, because of some fix and flips. Okay. And then if you have, if you do wholesale, you could probably do, I don't know, $100,000 a year in wholesale. So you could just mix these up. Okay. I don't think wholesaling is something that you're going to make $500,000 a year doing. I just don't. I don't know a lot of wholesalers that actually, unless they're an influencer, I don't know any wholesaler that actually makes $500,000 a year net take home. They might produce $500,000 in stuff, but they're not really taking home a lot. They're taking home maybe 20, 30 grand max. But I can't tell you a wholesaler that's Edgar. I said wholesalers that are not influencers. Okay. I just don't. I don't know any wholesalers are actually out there making that kind of money. You have, in order to make really great money, okay, you have to do a variety of things. Wholesale is just kind of one of those varieties. All right. So fix and flip, rentals, buy and hold. These are the ways to make money. Passive income. This is today money. Wholesale is today money. Fix and flip is tomorrow money. Okay. Rental is forever money. For me, this is where I'm primarily focused right now. How do I just accumulate more doors? Okay. Buy and hold is the ultimate goal, but in order to get there, you have to make money along the way. So if you want to keep your 9-to-5 job, it's really easy. Okay. It's really easy if you're going to keep your 9-to-5 job along the way. Okay. So the next avatar is direct to agent. Okay. Hey, Carly, can we do, maybe not. We did this AI challenge. It was like 3 days of how to do direct to agent. Anson Rickard says, Pace, how many doors do you have now? Anson, why would you want to know that? I'll tell you, but why would you want to know that? Is it for motivation, or is it to make you feel like, oh, Anthony Johnson says 6K. No, I wish. We currently have just a little under 1,800 right now. We have about 300 single family and 1,500 multifamily doors. I have a question. Do you recommend that people? Okay, Anthony Magnano. Man, I wish I could pronounce names. That's just not something I'm good at. Anthony, how you doing, man? Anthony.
Hey, how are
What's
you,
up,
brother?
man? How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm going to tell you, this is a problem that I can't answer for everybody as an individual.
Sure.
I have to can I tell you something that you're not going to want to hear, but you also need to hear?
Yeah. Tell me.
The advice people will give you will always be based on your current mindset and capabilities. What do you think I would suggest you should go and try out for the MBA right now?
Probably not.
Probably not, right? So here's the challenge, and this hurt my feelings when somebody first told me this. They said, keep your day job. And years later, as a contractor also doing wholesaling, I did both, okay? I kept my construction business for 3 years while I was doing wholesale, and I was accumulating rentals. So I did both. I didn't quit to then go full time. And there's a couple of pieces of advice here that I got to give you. Piece of advice number one. If you like your W-2, why would you quit?
Yeah. Good
I
point.
think the problem is, Anthony, do you have a wife and kids?
I do not.
Okay. So you don't have the same problem that other people make up in their mind. I'll tell you some real hard truths, and there's some people in here that are going to hate me for saying this. They have nagging wives and kids that have not been trained properly to understand that daddy's job is to go create a legacy for the family. And then also the husband, or the male in this situation, has not clearly communicated to his significant other his plans and why he needs to spend so much more time away from the home going and building something that does not exist. And for a year to fail and fail and fail and provide zero results, and getting your female on the other page of that is really hard for a lot of men. They have marital problems that their wife doesn't believe in them because their wife shouldn't believe in them, because they have told their wife, I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to spend more time with the kids. I'm going to, take you on more dates. And they basically have lied to their wife. And so now when they go, I want to get into wholesaling, it's like a dirty little secret that they want to keep away from their wife. because their wife is going to criticize, negate, and make fun of them for all this new real estate mumbo jumbo. You don't have that problem, which is awesome. But I see that all the time. I get a lot of men that come up to me and they go, how do I get my wife on board with me getting into real estate? I'm like, there's no way your wife wouldn't be on board with you getting into real estate unless your wife is blind, deaf, and dumb. The problem is you must have lied to her so much along the way that she's had to turn into a nag and babysit you like your mother had to, and she doesn't have any faith in you as a human being. Therefore, your whole thing of how do I get my wife on board? The answer is keep your promises to her. When you say you're going to do something, do it, and do that for a couple of years and rebuild your trust or rebuild her trust. You don't have that problem. Any women in here agree with me about that? Men basically saying a bunch of bullshit to you and lying to you. Okay. Men are full of shit. But if a man went to a female, Anthony, you don't have this problem, but I am saying this to other people. If a man went to a woman and said, look, I want to try and get into real estate. And here's why I want to get into real estate. And I think I'm going to fail for a year, maybe even 2. And it's going to cost me some money to learn some lessons. And I promise you, I won't lose our current living situation will be tight. I'll never gamble that. But I'm going to go do some Uber Eats driving, make some extra money, pay for some leads. You're going to hear me calling sellers, and I'm going to screw it all up, and I'm going to look stupid, and I'm going to make some new friends that are also in real estate. And I'm going to start, doing some things, and you're not going to see a single dollar come into our household for 24 months. I think most women would go, I'm down. I'll support you in that. Okay. See, Sherry, she says, I'll say go for it. Women who agree with that, say yes. Okay.
Yeah,
There you go. The problem is men are not transparent and they're horrible communicators, and they're making anyway, so you get all that. Now, outside of that, I said that for a lot of the people in the side chat, that's their biggest issue. Outside of that, if you have a job, do you like your job?
Not necessarily. I'm a corporate lender. So I work for a big bank, make multiple 6 figures.
Don't quit your job.
Yeah.
All right. I can already tell you right now. So Yatong, one of my students, I brought her up earlier. I had a one-on-one with her a couple of years ago, and she was like, I'm struggling. I'm like, why the freak are you struggling? And the reason why people struggle is because they need to have an individual one-on-one conversation with another human being is typically what they need. And for somebody to understand their situation. And this, even as being a lender, it's like every loan is a little bit different, right?
Yep.
So for you, maybe you don't get up every morning and say, hell yeah, I'm so excited to go into work today. But what if you retrained your brain to go, man, it's this job that's going to allow me to deploy capital into, and by the way, I already know what your avatar is. Your avatar is a buyer. You're not a wholesaler. You're not going to go cold call. You're not going to negotiate. You're not going to go build a team. I already know your avatar. Why in the hell would you ever go do that?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think
you got to skip all the steps.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're not living off multiple 6 figures, I imagine, right?
No.
Okay. And how are you investing your money currently?
I've just started to invest basically 18 months ago.
Okay. But what are you investing in?
Real estate.
Okay. Well, then there you are. You already found your avatar. You're a buyer.
I just don't feel like I'm scaling quickly enough.
The first couple of years always feels like that. And by the way, you don't have enough friends in real estate that are also buyers for you to glean off of and listen to, et cetera. It's the same thing in like your big corporate bank. You see other lenders doing stuff. You get ideas, you give them ideas. In fact, like sometimes when you give them ideas on how to get a loan closed or how to talk to this person, you go, man, I actually sound pretty smart in that situation. Dang, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Who are you doing that with in real estate right now?
Just myself.
You see you see how I continually come back to the same issue?
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Right. It's like, think about where do you live?
Buffalo.
Okay. Buffalo. First off, Buffalo sucks because of how cold it is, but it's a great real estate market. I don't want to
Good
go to
cash
Buffalo.
flow market.
It's a great cash flow market. I just so cold, man. You guys get so much snow. But Buffalo is a good market. So there's a lot of my students are in Buffalo. They're buying deals there. It's like, why aren't you going to the meetups and hanging out with them?
Fair point.
Right. And here's a couple of ways to scale. Step number one, get more friends. Forget about the technique. Forget about anything else. Everything comes down to, are you part of a community of people that are like-minded, that one, you can share your expertise and your experience for the last 18 months, whatever that may be. Two, you can glean off and be motivated and inspired by other people in your local town. Go, damn, I didn't even know you guys were here. Why weren't we hanging out? Well, because Pace didn't bark at me and tell me I should make more friends. So that's number one. That's the first thing you need to do. Okay. Second thing that you need to do is you do need to learn creative finance, because then let's say instead of you going and putting 20 or 30% down, you can buy a couple of seller finance deals a year or a couple of sub 2 deals a year, probably double your intake of deals into your portfolio just by using creative finance.
Yep.
And then the third thing I would do is I would also become maybe a private money lender to other people that are doing deals. Right.
So,
You've got capital, right?
I do, but it's funny. A lot of it, at least a lot of the cash is tied up in a deal that I'm trying to take up or take down right now. But I have money tied up in a 401 that could easily be used.
Yeah. Why don't you self-direct that 401?
That's exactly what I'm doing. I just kind of learned about that maybe a month or two ago, and that's exactly what I'm going through right now.
Here's what I would do with that self-directed 401. I would go to people in my community in Buffalo, and I would go, hey, I have money to lend on my 401. What can we do? Let's sit down. Let's talk. I got money. Let's chat. Let's collaborate. Dude, you're going to get so damn excited about the fact that you have the ability to lubricate and accelerate relationships because you have a self-directed that's going to allow you to go and lend that money tax-free, which is pretty awesome. There's your solution. I wouldn't even hang out with me on this training for the next 2 days. Go take those actions and you'll dominate.
Cool. No, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. Again, if you're making multiple 6 figures at your job, you have good benefits, you actually like it, you learn things on a daily basis, which you do, you understand the markets and the cycles and all, you have an advantage over a lot of people because of the job you're in.
For sure.
Right? You get to understand what's the Fed doing, and that impacts us. I got to go research it. You get to learn it every day in your job.
Oh yeah. See it every day.
Right. So you have multiple advantages to stay at the W-2. I would say, how do you get to a point in the next 36 months? You sound like a young guy. You're under 40 for sure.
34.
Okay, you're 34. You're a baby, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you say, I want to be out of my corporate job by the time I'm 37? Because my passive income has overdone that. And even at that point at 37, you can say, do I like this? Have I figured out how to trick my brain into making this work where I can continually have this job that provides all this amazing choice? I call it choice freedom. Other people don't have the freedom of choice that you have because you made good decisions to get a great paying job. Other people didn't do that, right? Or maybe they grew up in families that didn't nuance them into that path. But you have an upper hand in that situation, not because you didn't work for it. You did work for it, and I give you credit for that. But how can you elevate that to maybe another level? And maybe at 37, you go, yeah, I could quit, but I also could go to my bosses and say, I only want to work 3 days a week. The other 2 days a week, I want to work on my real estate business, and I'll leave if you guys don't give me those other 2 days off. You probably could do that.
I don't know if I'd have that kind of flexibility, but it's definitely something I try to work toward.
But here's the thing is, if you had the leverage of passive income to lean off of, couldn't you go to them and just have the confidence of hey guys, on the side, I built a real estate portfolio. I really want to focus on it more full time. I'd love to take 1 day off extra a week, maybe Fridays. I'd like to not be here on Friday, or I'd like to work half days on Thursday and Friday. or whatever iteration of that is. But your individual answer is somewhere in that vein.
Yeah. Yeah, when you have the leverage like that, that's definitely where you get the confidence to be able to walk into that conversation like that.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, tomorrow I actually have somebody coming in here to talk about my self-directed 401. So we actually have a guest coming in tomorrow. He's the first guest of the morning. Okay. Stephanie says, I have to figure out how to transition from W-2 to this full time. Okay. So Anthony, very different advice I'm going to give her, but I appreciate your question. Thank you so much. So Stephanie, let's have a quick conversation. I'll wrap it up for the night. People can't hang with me. People give up too easy. People are like, wow, this dude's going 3.5 hours right now. How's it going, Stephanie?
Hello, good afternoon. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
I'm gonna be really brutal with you, okay?
Okay.
People that think that your 9-to-5 job is the problem should probably just keep a 9-to-5 job.
Okay.
Because I can tell you right now that being an entrepreneur is not a 9-to-5 job. It's a 5 to 9 job. And what do I mean by that? Okay. Think about this. You have kids, right?
No, I don't.
Then what the hell are you doing with all your extra time?
Trying to learn. I just got started with the Gator, so I'm trying to learn. I'm doing the trainings.
Stephanie, you got all the time on the planet with no kids.
Okay.
You got a demanding lover in your life?
No, but my job is kind of demanding. I'm a city employee, and it's not as easy.
Okay. It's demanding while you're working there, but when you get home, here's what I'm hearing. And I talk to thousands of people on a yearly basis, so I kind of understand these things really, really quickly. You can probably tell when I talk to people. What's happening is you don't know what to structure after you get off your job. How to spend your time.
Okay.
I mean, you come home and you're doing the same shit you were doing 3 months ago today, and you're not getting traction. So you're like, you know what? I'm so frazzled. I'm all over the place. If I could just get out of my W-2 job and just do this full time, then it would work. That's not the answer. The answer is you need to be, if you're not structured now, you won't be structured when you quit your job.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So how do I know this? Because I was there for 10 years. I was blaming everything on my construction company. So as a contractor, I was working I was out the door at 5 a.m. I was coming home at 9 p.m. and my wife just got used to that for years. And I truly was like, I don't have any time. I don't have any time. And then my wife's like, why can't you do this on Sunday? And I was like, oh, well, I just thought like, you don't want me doing stuff on Sunday. She's like, I want you to live your best life, whatever you want to do. So I started doing stuff on Sundays. That was it.
Okay.
All my appointments with sellers were on Sundays, and sellers were like, oh yeah, you want to meet on Sunday? That's cool. Perfect. So, where do you live?
Bronx, New York.
Easy. You know how many, do you know, Chris Jean-Baptiste, one of my students?
Yes, I do. He's the one who referred me.
Okay. Amazing.
That's
so
funny.
why aren't you going on appointments with him like on the weekends?
I'm gonna start.
Okay, that's the next step. Don't worry about quitting your W-2. Okay, think about this. Like you have an elevated set of problems, which is awesome because you made good decisions. You got a good job. You have an elevated set of problems, right? Versus somebody that's like, I'm living on $1,000 a month and I can barely survive. That's not your problem.
Right.
Okay, so the fact that you are in that elevated position, what are you doing with that elevated position, Stephanie? Well, you needed me to kind of call you out a little bit, maybe give you a little bit of tough love, but I can tell you that right now you're not time blocking and then unapologetically saying I'm doing nothing but my business during these time periods and nothing's going to distract me. And you know what's funny is I am easily distracted. Do you know how I keep myself from being easily distracted? I make social commitments with other people that I don't dare break.
Okay.
That I'm telling you right now, it's impossible for me not to come up with shiny object syndrome myself. So what I do is I go, hey, what am I doing this week that's going to eat up all my time? And I make commitments to other people to do it with me. And then that way I'm like, even when I don't want to do, I'm like, damn.
Motivating yourself, like going to the gym with friends. Got it.
Motivating to go to the gym with friends. Or what I did just recently is I committed to a Spartan race with friends. And it's like 32 miles plus like 400 obstacles. And I was like, I know that I'm going to eat way better and I'm going to work out because I have that. And I don't want to look stupid in front of my friends. And we're in a group text every day. And in the beginning, they were like, I did 30 push-ups and I did this and I did that. And we're all motivating each other. And I'm like, damn. And one of my buddies goes, Pace, what'd you do today? Have some ice cream? And I was like, oh, you asshole. So I went out and I ran 2 miles the next morning. And then now I'm at a point where I'm running 8 miles, but it was social accountability and me realizing I'm a human just like anybody else. So I relied on me being a human and saying, if I create social pressure, I will do something. But if I'm left to my own devices in my environment, I will not do it.
Right.
I'm not special other than the fact that I know I'm not special.
Uh-huh.
And I think the problem is like I used to think, it's like, if I just think about really hard and I really commit to myself, this week is going to be the week that I finally do the things I know I should do. But here we both are. I think we both can admit that never in our life has that ever happened.
Right.
Anybody in your entire life, like 99% of people are going to say no. Have you ever just done something on your own because you had no accountability and you're just like, I'm just going to hold myself accountable?
Right. Right.
Not me.
Right. I get it.
That's the problem. So you needed to, here's what I would do. I'd text Chris right now.
Okay. All right.
Like literally text him. It's 10:30 at night and go, I'm talking to Pace on a Zoom.
Uh-huh.
And Pace says that you and I need to go on an appointment or I need to sit next to you while you call sellers this weekend.
Okay.
And just being in the energy of activity instead of like, what would you normally do on a weekend?
I also on the side, I do a lot of gigs, work a lot of events, concerts, festivals, like brand ambassador work. So it's not just when I come home.
So you must be making a lot of money.
Not maintaining okay, somewhat, but not a lot. No.
Okay, so you're not. So the event stuff is what's it bringing in? Like $3 or $4 grand a month?
Less than that.
Okay, so I'm telling you right now, you do one Gator deal, you already made more than that for the whole month.
Right. I gotta just finish the Gator trainings. I'm still in the process of that.
F that shit.
Okay.
Go get a Gator deal. Like I'll give you one of my Gator deals. Like you don't need more training, you need more action.
Okay.
So you like literally go to Chris and go, Chris, help me find a Gator deal today.
Okay.
Right. And like literally I give Gator deals to, Gator students all the time because I'm always out of money. Like right now, I just raised $3 million to buy a 600 unit apartment complex. I had no money. The deal came to me and I was like, holy crap, I have 13 grand in like all of my accounts combined. And I got to go raise $3 million. And I raised the money really quickly, but that's how it always is for me. For me, that's another thing. That's how I personally operate is I go, how do I put my back against the wall that I am always out of money? It forces me to go out and go get more money all the time. So you got to put your back up against the wall and go, all right, this week, I'm not going to just hang out with Chris. Text Chris right now and says, Pace says you need to get me a Gator deal this week.
Okay. All right. I will.
For real.
I will.
Okay. Does everybody kind of see the underlying tone of this is that we all just need each other? And this is why I built a community. I built the Sub 2 community and I built the Gator tribe. And you guys need each other. I need you guys. Okay? For the people that are in here, by the way, if you're in here and you have never paid for any trainings, tell the people in here, thank you. The Sub 2 community and the Gator tribe, tell them thank you for being here and being supportive. And being here for you guys. They're the people that are investing in themselves. They believe in themselves and they're here to support you guys. Okay.
Thank you so much, Pace.
Stephanie.
Yes.
I want to see you do a deal.
I got you.
I'm going to text Chris right now and tell me and he's going to hold you accountable. If you don't have a deal in the next 10 days, I'm going to be so pissed off.
We don't want that.
Have you seen me mad?
I've seen enough videos. I can tell.
Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate you.
Thank you. God bless you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Okay, so guys, here's what we're going to do is we are going to wrap up for the night. We are going to go more in depth on avatar stuff tomorrow, and then we're going to actually bring in one of my underwriters, and we're going to start showing you guys how to underwrite and comp deals. Are you guys cool with that? We got 3 things tomorrow. We're going to finish up the avatars and the rest of the steps. We got through steps, basically 2, and we'll go through steps 3, 4, 5 tomorrow, and we'll have we'll comp and we'll talk about self-directed money. Okay, and then on day 3, we'll finish step 6, and we will spend the rest of the day comping and just showing you guys how to comp. Okay, sound good? Same time, same link, nothing's changed. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you.